No,
You're doing it right now. I can do it. Yes, I caught you.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Hi.
This is our show, the Andy Milanakis show.
Dude, that's a lawsuit right there.
Oh. We're not the Andy Milanakis show.
We're the Sifo and Ollie show. Sifo and Ollie rock.
That was dumb.
You're an asshole. Sifo and Ollie's awesome. You're a piece of shit.
We are at Breakroom Bullshit.
Oh, that's the name of our show, at Breakroom Bullshit.
Yep. Life's a Twitter handle.
It is. That's all that really matters.
Tweet it, man.
Yeah, at Breakroom BS1.
At Breakroom
You
BS1.
completely fucked it up.
This is what happens when we don't have the right run sheet template.
Yeah, you're right.
Use the new template for the run sheet. Now everything's different.
This happens when I get rushed. I don't perform well under pressure.
Maybe you should always be prepared.
Yeah.
Boy Scouts always prepared.
I don't really like trying to perform under pressure.
I like performing at the last minute.
Do you?
For a minute. No, I meant to say performing for a minute.
Normally I like to, whenever I'm, with a girl, what I like to do is I like to just, whenever we start messing around, I'm I have to go potty real quick. And I make sure I say potty. They're like, oh, that's cute.
Oh.
Trust me, it works. I'm like, I have to go potty. So then I go to the bathroom and I jerk off. And then whenever we get in my bed, I just use, a cucumber and I start fucking her with it. I mean, it's never it'll be fine.
If this is the episode my parents start listening on, it's going to be really awkward.
Yeah, but it works out because I don't really have to worry about, pressure because it's the cucumber, not me.
Water pressure.
Oh, it's a cucumber. How much water is there in a cucumber?
Actually, I think the cucumber has a lot of water in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Now you just made me feel dumb. Why'd you do that? Everyone's laughing at me.
I'm sorry.
They're all going to laugh at me.
I embarrassed you in front of
They're all going to laugh at me.
Everybody.
Hey, you can listen to the show on SoundCloud if that's what you were wondering.
I mean, if you aren't already doing that.
You could just be listening on the Twitters.
On Twitter, but that would be through SoundCloud still, wouldn't it?
Well, as I've told you for maybe about 6 times now, if you just hit play, it plays it on the Twitter page.
I don't listen. You can ask Ashley. I don't listen.
Yeah. Breakroom BS is our page on SoundCloud, or you can just search Breakroom Bullshit and it'll pull it up.
I just realized I heard her tell me that I don't listen.
So you were listening at that point?
So I win.
So you were listening when it didn't matter?
Yes.
Okay, good job, dude. This week we're going to have a bunch of news as usual. There's actually not a lot of news articles this week.
This coffee tastes like shit.
We're going to have some news. We're going to have some nasty coffee.
Starbucks coffee does not taste good.
Gable, what comic are you reviewing this week?
Do I get both of them, or are we just...
You're asking permission from me.
Am I allowed to do both?
I suppose you can do both. I think it's funny that you were so fucking excited about something with these comics when I was coming up with my notes.
Yeah.
I was doing my movie notes, and you're just like, oh my god, this all makes sense.
It really, wasn't a big deal, but whenever things tie together, it really...
It's satisfying.
It is.
I like saying
quite satisfying.
Okay, so what are you going to be reviewing?
All new, all different Avengers number 7 and International Iron Man number 1.
That's exciting.
Which is different than the other Iron Man.
Is it like how is it barely different though? Is it like how international trailers have an extra 3 seconds?
I feel like it's going to be different in such a way that Action Comics is different than Superman, or Detective Comics is different than Batman. Like
Batman came from Detective Comics and
Superman came from Detective Comics is still an ongoing series.
Is it?
But it's written by someone else and will follow a different storyline than what's going on in Batman. And Action Comics is the same way.
Okay, I see.
Yes.
And then the movies this week, we're going to do Magnificent 7.
Yes.
Storks.
Yes.
And the retro will be the Babadook.
No.
Yes.
Oh.
No. People have been telling me forever to watch the Babadook. Since it came out, probably. Everyone's like, have you seen the Babadook? I'm like, that sounds fucking silly. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I was going to start talking about it, but then I realized we'll get there. And
then we have our top 5 this week,
yes.
Which is top 5 TV shows.
Gummy bear flavors.
Wait, we did something different.
Oh, what did you... I'll say mine first, and you tell me what yours was.
I did top 5 TV shows that are Star Trek themed.
I did the top 5 gummy bear flavors, but then I realized I think there's only 5 flavors. So.
Well, hold on, let me scratch my list out. I'll do the gummy bear flavors.
Okay. We'll get that ready in between breaks.
All right. Well, let's jump into our news. our news.
News stories. I have none.
Papers are moving.
I don't know why I was looking through my papers. You have all the news stories there.
Yeah, I have everything important. So firstly, let's go ahead and last week we said we'd try to figure out what was going on with Benicio del Toro and the Collector.
Yeah,
remember?
Yeah.
I looked into that.
You did? Because I completely forgot about it.
I knew you would. I looked into this, and as it turns out, as usual, you're completely wrong.
Oh, good.
Yeah, like
I'm glad because this is good news for me.
It's not really good news, but you're still wrong.
Oh, I forget what I even said.
You were saying that Del Toro didn't want to play the Collector anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not accurate.
I think it was like a scheduling conflict or something.
It has nothing to do with that at all.
Good.
I'm not trying to be a dick.
Wait, he's not. No. I'm happy I'm wrong. Does that mean he's doing more?
Coming soon, got the chance to ask Del Toro whether the Collector might return for the next installment of the Marvel franchise. This is from January, by the way. Mm-hmm. His response was not terribly optimistic. I don't think so, he said. They would have told me, I hope. I do hope to play that character again at some point. The end. So basically, he was just not written into the next movie.
Oh.
I mean, unless they did after this. Because apparently... before this, I guess last fall it says, which had been a few months previous, Zoe Saldana made a reference to talking about Del Toro, saying, I'll see you on Guardians, like he was going to be in the next one, but this could have been before the script was done or something, I guess. So.
Okay.
But yeah, so apparently, unless there's been an update, which I couldn't find, and we all know that I am a very reputable news reporter and I would have found it.
Do you think he's needed?
The character?
Yeah.
That's a really good question, Gable. I like when you pose good questions. Is a character needed? I mean, the characters seem to serve no purpose other than having one of the Infinity Stones. Mm. But he could serve a very huge purpose because someone was telling me, or I might have read an Easter egg somewhere, where in one of the scenes with the Collector, you can see Adam Warlock's cocoon.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Adam Warlock is one of the guys that defeats Thanos.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he has something to do with that would be a big deal. Ooh. So he could serve a big purpose.
Ooh, yeah.
But, I mean, who knows if they're going to do that.
Yeah, I've been reading up on that.
Oh, have you?
The Infinity stuff.
I
read it starts with Thanos Quest, from what I could tell.
Well, wait a minute. Why don't you get into this when we go over that news article we have about this?
Okay.
Because it kind of talks about the different comics.
Are we doing that next?
It's like 2 away. We'll do that next. We'll do that right now.
It blends better.
Yeah. According to LMR, which is some sort of reputable news website. I like the word reputable this week for some reason.
Reputable sounds nice.
Yeah.
It just, whenever you pronounce it right, it definitely feels good.
It fools me into thinking I can trill my R's when you speak Spanish, because I can't do that. Reputable.
I'm thinking reputable.
Reputable. Yeah. Sources have told LMR several alleged plot points of Infinity War.
Oh boy.
The sources indicate that Infinity War will begin with the story arc seen in the famous Infinity Gauntlet comic book crossover series from 1990. Whether the film will feature any part of the subsequent Infinity War comics isn't known. Infinity Gauntlet depicts the events which occur after Thanos finally obtains all the powerful Infinity Gems for the Infinity Gauntlet. Then 2 years later, Infinity War came out with its own 6-issue series that shows Adam Warlock taking control over the artifact and facing down an old foe named Magnus. As for the actual plot of Infinity Gauntlet, sources have told LMR the film will stick close to its source content. The upcoming flick will feature Thanos as he tries to win over the female personification of death. To appease her, Thanos collects the Infinity Stones and plans to use the Gauntlet to wipe out half of all life in the universe to give death with more souls. Like, why do you pick half? Like, I'm going to get rid of half of you.
Yeah, that was some good input. I had a lot to say there.
Some good input there.
I was afraid I was going to jump the gun on what I was saying earlier, but I'll wait till you're finished.
This is wrapping it up right here. Of course, this would then mean that death will appear in Infinity War. Fans have speculated about this for a while now, with some even wondering where Kate Blanchett's Hela from Ragnarok could stand in for the undead mistress. That's all up for speculation. I don't know what any of that means at the end there. But, alright, so clue us in on this whole Infinity Gauntlet War
Well, I can't include you
Penis.
because I haven't finished it yet.
All right, so thanks. Okay, this is going to be nice.
But I can. The coolest part about this wasn't like the Avengers coming together. It was the Thanos trying to impress Death shit. It's a really good fucking comic.
But you were initially talking about the
Yeah, what was
different
that?
comics, like the different parts.
Oh yeah,
of
yeah. It started with Thanos Quest, 2 issues, like 40 pages
the
each.
center on him, I assume.
It's centered on him. Dude, all of it like centered on him pretty much, except for I guess Gauntlet. It went back and forth between him and Adam Warlock, but all of Thanos' quest was about him just obtaining the gems. It was just kind of like was that like a prelude or
a prologue.
a prologue? Yeah, it was. I thought prologue was after.
Is that an epilogue?
Yeah, I think you're right. Prologue. It might be the prologue. Oops. But yeah, I think it goes Thanos Quest, then Infinity Gauntlet, which I'm in the middle of reading right now. Actually, I think I only have 1 issue left. And then Infinity War, and then Infinity Quest, I think? Yeah. There's a lot of Infinity
in these
things.
comics, is it kind of like, whenever in Thanos' quest, are you like rooting for Thanos? Like, how does that work?
I wasn't rooting for Thanos, no, but it was kind of like weird because like Thanos would want to impress Death by killing all these people, and Death is just sitting there like whatever.
Yeah.
Like he's doing all these things to impress her, and then he even like creates a whole like female version of Thanos to be his like mistress. And
But he creates a female version of himself?
Yeah, like it looks like him, but like a chick version.
To like fuck himself?
Well, no, to make Death jealous. Yeah, it's like really cheesy when you read it, but at the same time, it's like really like.
It wouldn't Death be like, why would I be jealous? It's like you're jerking off in the bathroom. It's yourself.
It's really like. It's funny because Thanos is doing all these things to impress a woman, and he can't cut a break.
He just can't get it going.
Like, he destroyed half the entire universe, and she's still unimpressed.
He just can't get her.
Typical woman.
I'm telling you. Especially his name's Death, that's about right. But okay, well, what do we got next here? Mephisto. Let's have some talk about Mephisto. The article... The title of the article is kind of stupid. Mephisto confirmed for the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Like, not even remotely once you read the article. It's fucking kind of dumb.
It kind of sounded like it was more of a slip-up on someone's behalf.
Yeah, that's what it kind of sounds like. In an effort to promote Ghost Rider's debut on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., actor Gabriel Luna has been doing the promotional tour for the show and addressing questions and concerns that Marvel fans have. He stated, "What we haven't touched on are the things that can't be explained perfectly by science. It's a lot of really fun stuff that starts to lean into the world of Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, and Mephisto. And all of these other elements that also exist there, like ghouls and goblins and all sorts of cool things. We're happy to be the ones to break the ice on that. Ghoul. I like saying ghoul. Ghoul.
Ghoul.
Ghoul.
Ghoul.
Yeah.
It's spelled weird, too.
Ghouls. That font is absolutely ghoulish, Terrence.
Ghoul.
That font is absolutely ghoulish. The gem here is Luna name-dropping the character Mephisto. Mephisto is basically the Marvel Comics version of Satan. Like Satan, Mephisto is a demonic schemer, seducer, and deal-maker. Satan is always trying to seduce folk. Mm-hmm. He's like, what's up? Fucking pulling out his big red dick and like sticking it on your forehead. That's how you seduce people, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's worked for me so far.
Dude, there's a really funny Deadpool story involving Mephisto.
Alright, let me finish this and we'll get into it.
Okay. You're going to have to remind me, I'll forget.
Mephisto is a demonic schemer,
Short-term
seducer, and dealmaker who usually holds some kind of important MacGuffin or information he's willing to barter.
What's a MacGuffin?
MacGuffin is like something that drives the story, like in Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. The Crystal Skull is the MacGuffin.
I want to go on another tangent because I just...
Refrigerators are very safe. Mephisto has appeared at pivotal points all over the Marvel Comics universe, and has even served as a device by which major retcons have occurred. I don't know what that means.
Retcons, like
reconciliation,
like when they like rewrite the continuity.
Ah, okay. Mephisto is a character who has strong connections to the supernatural end of the Marvel Universe, making him a potential big villain in the films and TV series of characters like Doctor Strange or Ghost Rider. Mephisto also had a role to play in the classic Infinity Gauntlet comic book storyline.
He did. He was like his servant, like Thanos' servant.
I'm pretty sure that's what MacGuffin means. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
MacGuffin.
I'm pretty sure that's what it means.
MacGuffin.
What were you saying about Deadpool?
Am I your MacGuffin, Dave?
Yeah, you always drive me to want to kill myself.
There was this real funny Deadpool story where he Mephisto makes a deal that he'll get Deadpool a share in Laserdisc. This is it takes place like in the 80s, and he'll get Deadpool a share in Laserdiscs, which clearly worked out.
Yeah,
but
I get the joke.
Deadpool had to get Tony Stark back on the off the wagon of drinking.
Yeah.
Off on the wagon, that Seinfeld debate right
Yeah.
there. But yeah, I just thought it was funny. All he wanted was shares in Laserdiscs.
Deadpool did?
Yeah.
Deadpool's dumb.
Deadpool's great.
How could he see the future, though? He wouldn't know. Okay, what do we got next here? This isn't really very much news, but I mean, we had not much to go on this week.
The comic itself did not take place in the 80s.
Oh, we haven't moved on. Okay, what was that?
I just wanted to not sound like an idiot because I was like, what if people think I actually read an 80s Deadpool comic, which doesn't exist?
Oh, I see. Well, they wouldn't think you're an idiot. They just think that you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You're like, how do you read that? How do I get my hands on it and shit?
I just realized I sounded really stupid.
You're like the only person that owns Deadpool #1 from 1980.
I'm going to grab another gummy bear out of this bag and move on now.
That's nice. Let me see those gummy bears.
Yeah. Oh.
Have you figured
out your top five gummy bears?
#1 is clearly orange. Oh, they're all sour. What the fuck is that?
That's a trap.
Oh, it's like spiciness. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Fuller House is coming back for another season in December, I hear, which is awesome. That's not a news article, but I'm just happy.
I didn't watch the last one.
I fucking loved it.
Dude, I saw an article that said they had concept art for it.
Yeah,
I was like, what's that even going to do?
That's the first I've heard about this.
Is it like the villain? A concept art of the villain?
It's concept art of Michelle. And what she looks like after sucking 50 dicks, so she's a whore now.
Oh, boy.
I mean, she's all grown up. I can say that now.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's talk about some future Marvel and Star Wars plans.
I love Marvel and Star Wars.
It's the most uninformative stuff you're going to read.
Let me ask you a question.
All right.
So, they haven't done it in the comics yet. Because, as of recently, obviously, Disney owns Marvel and Star Wars.
Okay. No.
And they have the comics.
No.
Do you think they'll ever cross over?
No. I don't. Maybe there'll be some stupid. I don't know.
I don't think if they did, it would have to do with like the actual continuity of either.
It would just be something like off,
like Boba Fett and Deadpool hanging out, which I know is a popular internet thing.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen.
Now
like,
let me ask you a question. If you had 3 wishes from a genie, what would they be?
3 wishes from a genie.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever die. I don't want the universe to die.
Okay.
And I don't really want anyone I know to die. So
you want to be immortal. You want the universe to never end, and you want everyone that you know to be immortal.
Mm-hmm.
You're afraid of death, aren't you, Gable?
Yeah, I'm really scared of it.
You just changed my 3rd wish.
What?
You just changed my 3rd wish.
Yours?
It's changed now. Well, okay. My 3 wishes are 1, immortality. I already had that.
Keep in mind, I didn't have time to think this out. This was off the
I came up with these pretty fast myself, though, when I first came up with them.
Okay.
You don't believe me, but that's fine.
You never changed them at any point?
I'm changing them now because of what you just told me.
I did just think about, if I could not have to drive anywhere ever again, that'd be great.
Okay. Immortality.
Mm-hmm.
Mind control.
Yeah.
And for the universe to never end. I didn't think of that one. That's a good point. Like, what good's immortality if I stay like the universe ends eventually? Granted, it's trillions of years from now.
I feel like because we've had this conversation before, people won't understand what we mean by the universe, like never coming to an end. The universe is actually.
Well, let's say how great my idea of mind control was.
I guess mind control.
So
you're changing mind control?
No, I'm saying mind control. No one ever wishes for mind control. I will have unlimited money for the rest of my life. If I'm like, Bill Gates give me $10 billion, and he will. That's it. I have $10 billion. Anyone that I'm like, that guy's a dickhead, kill yourself. He's dead. I'll kill Michael Bay right now. I'll just make him kill himself. If I could commit a crime, I could shoot Michael Bay in the face. I'll mind control the judges and the police. I could do anything I want with mind control.
That's true.
Anything.
You wouldn't have to drive anywhere. You just mind control someone to pull their car over, and you just...
it'd be like Grand Theft Auto, except without
I really don't like driving.
Dude, it would be great.
Dude, it says a lot that, like, me having something, like, a wish over not, like, having to ever drive again. Because I despise driving so much.
That's a
so
weird
for it to be something above that,
maybe fly.
It'd be really important.
Just fly.
I'd like to fly.
Okay.
Teleporting would be way cooler.
Oh, fuck, I dropped every paper. Now, initially, my 3 wishes, which the one I got rid of was unlimited money, because I was like, that would be... Because I can't remember who I told this to, but they were like, well, you could already get unlimited money with mind control. And I was like, that's a good point.
So you win.
Yeah, but... Okay, so I remember one time I was talking to Gable, and I was like, hey, Gable, did you know that eventually the universe is going to end and nothing's going to matter? I was like, basically, the universe keeps expanding. It's going to expand to the point where there's going to be nothing. It's just going to be destroyed. So there will be nothing anywhere no matter what. So really anything you do is pointless because in the end, it doesn't really matter. It's all going to be gone. And Gable just instantly, when he told me that, he's like, what? Oh, he's got instantly depressed. It's this ongoing joke where I'll just keep reminding him that nothing matters because the universe is going to end. It's a joke in as much as I think it's funny, and he just gets sad. He's sitting here just looking sad, but since this isn't a video, you can't tell. He's looking really sad.
I don't want to go on.
It's really funny. You're going to be dead by the time that happens anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I guess that's true.
You gotta look at the positives. You're going to die.
Oh boy, right. I can't wait.
Weren't we talking about some sort of Star Wars and Marvel stuff?
Dude, I don't. It doesn't matter. So why even read it? Why are you even listening to this podcast right now? Nothing matters.
Just go kill yourself. There's no point.
Don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
No one's going to listen to us.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so Bob Iger teases future Marvel and Star Wars plans. Speaking at the Goldman Sachs Communacopia, the Walt Disney Company CEO, Bob Iger, spoke about the future of Star Wars films. This is informative. I had a meeting yesterday with Kathy Kennedy, and we mapped out the Star Wars plans that we have till 2020. I mean, they already are, but whatever.
Yeah.
They already even have release dates. I don't know what they're mapping out about it. We have movies in development for Star Wars till then, and we started talking about what we're going to do in 2021 and beyond. Shocker, there's going to be more Star Wars after that. Revelating news.
No, really?
The 2020 film that's listed is still a mystery film. It's another standalone movie. No one knows what it's supposed to be.
Boba Fett.
I mean, that's not really confirmed, is it?
No. That's not even remotely discussed.
They did recently hire a writer, though.
For the Boba Fett movie?
For the new that other Star Wars movie.
Star Wars Episode 9?
No, for the standalone movie that we don't know what it is.
Oh. But there's this Rogue One, then Episode 7, or Episode
Rogue
8.
One, Episode 8, then the Han Solo movie, then Episode 9, and then the other standalone movie.
Han Solo movie.
Yeah. We had a similar meeting with Marvel a week and a half ago to plot those films out, where we've got movies in either development or production, some nearing completion through the end of this decade. We too are beginning to talk about what do we do the next decade, and so on. 2 years ago, Feige revealed the one map the studio had for their cinematic universe went all the way to 2028. That's insane. The plans have likely changed.
Is that from Marvel, or?
That was Feige, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, 2028.
Feige's going to be dead by then.
We're all going to be dead by then. And then the universe will end and it won't matter. Plans have likely changed for some of those films, especially after they added the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man to their roster.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Dude, I was watching Civil War the other day. Whew. That part with Spider-Man, like the airport scene.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking destroyed me.
All right. And this is... Oh, we have a few more articles. All right.
That was like more than a few.
There's 3.
One. Oh, those are your other papers.
Yeah.
I know you're holding them all.
Tom Holland reveals himself to small child. This is a problem.
Tom Holland?
Yeah.
Oh, no more Spider-Man.
So apparently you know how remember how we were talking about before how Tom Holland has to go...
I thought he was a small child.
That's what makes it even more creepy. He's not a small child, he's like 20.
Dude, he's like 12.
He's like 18.
Probably only a few years younger than I.
Tom Holland's like 17.
Maybe not even.
Well, apparently Tom Holland was going door to door to like he was going undercover because you know how people go door to door to try to find well you go door to door to tell people that you're like a registered sex offender.
Yeah.
Well, what his plan was, he was like, well, if I go door to door and tell people I'm a registered sex offender, if they're actually a good person, they'll get mad and punch me in the face because I'm a registered sex offender. If they're like, oh, cool, then they're a registered sex offender too.
Oh.
Or unregistered, not caught. So then he tries to catch them. He like pulls out his dick and stuff and flops it around and sees what they do.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's like a double secret agent pedophile job.
I don't even want to think about that.
I mean, you're talking about your past, you mean? You don't want to think about your past?
Yeah, I used to have that job. It's not easy.
Yeah. So, I don't know, props to Tom Holland for really taking this superhero thing to heart. He's trying to stop pedophiles and stuff.
Alright, that's...
It's not slanderous, it was nice. I'm complimenting Tom Holland on his little dick he's flopping around the doorsteps. Flopping his cock and nuts all over.
Are you sure that's not slanderous? His cock and balls?
I shouldn't have said little. His moderately sized cock and nuts all over the place.
Average.
Yeah, his average or above average cock and nuts.
Who knows?
Apparently we're going to talk about the real reason Poison Ivy was aged in Gotham.
Which you care nothing about him.
I really care about this.
You don't.
Trailer for new CG Resident Evil movie. No, I'm kidding. Right. We made the change for two reasons. The character Ivy in the comics, one of her greatest powers is the power of seduction. Everyone was much more comfortable with that with an older actress as opposed to a teenager. I mean, if she's 17 or 18, that's still a teenager.
She looks a lot younger on the show.
Really?
How old is she? 17 or 18. I don't know. She looks like she's 13 on the show.
That's not good.
Yeah, so I was kind of wondering, like, Poison Ivy of all characters, why are you going to be like this little girl?
Yeah, next thing we know, there's going to be like a 14-year-old Harley Quinn sucking Joker's cock or something. That's going to be
really boy.
I didn't say I wanted to see it. I said that's what's next.
Oh, that's true.
When did I say I wanted to see that, Gable? What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
You sick fuck.
Let's go through things in the hole in your bed. Not your bed, your bedroom.
Yeah. Well, that's not going to be confirmed. We're gonna. Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind. I gotta call the landlord about that.
Are we not allowed to talk about that?
No, we can talk about it. We're not allowed to talk about it.
I don't know.
So apparently, okay. So there's a few very very recently within the last day. I swear it was that recent. I've noticed that in my bathroom next to the tub, the bathroom's carpeted, which is odd. But next to the tub,
the bathroom's carpeted.
Yeah, it's very odd.
It's
weird. It's like
your bathroom.
I didn't carpet it. When you walk into the bathroom, there's the tub and the sink in like one room, then a door that you go through with the toilet. The first room is carpeted. The room with the toilet is not. Mm-hmm. So I've noticed when I would walk into the bathroom next to the tub, there's just this wet spot on the floor in front of the tub without me even having used it. And it's just wet. I'm like, well, that's odd. There's something wrong there. Mm-hmm. Maybe I spilled some water I didn't notice. And the next day there was even more. And now there's a lot. And there's a very large area that seems very damp. And my socks get wet if I walk on the carpet there. So clearly there's a pipe or something leaking under there.
That's not good.
Yeah. So after that, when this was going on, when the days were going by and it was getting more and more wet,
giggity.
Yeah, giggity goo. I was like, man, my bed, it really has seemed like it's... Because not recently, but a while back I bought new boards for under my bed because, like, they were so fucking old. One was broken, some were just not even there. Mm-hmm. And my fucking bed was, like, not even. It was all fucking slanted.
You're talking about that thing that, like, the box frame lays on, right?
Yeah. There's the frame, and you put boards just down for the frame. Gotcha. And I was laying in my bed, and I was fucking all retarded looking and shit. So I was like, I'm gonna get new. So I ended up getting new boards for it a while ago, and my bed was completely level and good as new. I was like, all right. And then I've noticed lately this bed seems like not as level as it used to be. It just seems a little weird. Like the one part seems slanted. And I was like, whatever. I don't know what happened. I'll just move on. I don't know what I'm thinking sometimes. Clearly it was for a reason. So the one day, I'm like, I'm going to move my bed. And then I go to move my bed and it won't move. And I look at the back left post, I guess the foot of the bed, it's just inside the floor. Like the back
sinkhole.
Yeah, like the corner of the floor against the wall, the carpeting and the floor just kind of went down, and there's just a hole in there now, and the bedpost was like down in there. So that's why it's not even. So I had to pull it out, and then I walked back there, and I just shoved a couple towels in the hole because that's a quick solution.
You need to get some cement. Pour some cement.
Those towels are just as good. I shoved a couple towels in there, and I noticed that the floor connecting to that wall, on the exact other side of the wall is my tub, the wet floor over there.
Oh boy!
So this is probably why it's happening, because it's right next to where the wet floor is.
Jesus.
Something under there. The floor next to the wall is just kind of down at an angle as it meets the wall. So like the whole fucking floor is in the whole fucking part of the house where it's going to collapse.
Huh.
Yeah, it's going to only get
stuck
in there.
Die in your sleep?
Nah, I don't know. I mean, I'll be on the bed.
You'll be in your sleep.
Yeah.
When you die.
I'll be on the bed though, so I think I'll be fine.
So this girl for playing Poison Ivy, they have an actress, I believe, right?
I don't fucking know. Giha? Is that Giha?
Yeah. The thing is that's also weird is another character they have playing really young on the show is Catwoman.
Yeah.
Which Catwoman's also
Maggie Giha plays her.
Yeah, I think
Catwoman is played by Cameron Bicandova.
Yeah, she's also a very young character on the show, and that's kind of weird because Catwoman's also someone who has a lot of sexuality around her.
Yeah.
So that's kind of. I mean, at the same time, like I guess they have to have a love interest for like a young Bruce Wayne.
Sounds to me like.
How
young does his love interest need to be? 14 years old.
I mean, he's pretty young too.
How old is he?
I don't know, like 17. I'm gonna say in the show.
Sounds like he's robbing the cradle.
Well, I think she's older than what Poison Ivy is.
Babysitting the cradle. What's
I
the
think
expression?
she's older than what robbing the cradle.
Robbing it. So they're stealing the baby out of the cradle?
No, they're checking the baby's pockets for a wallet so they can steal money.
Babies don't have wallets. You're sick and demented. Let's get on to the next article. Trailer for new CG Resident Evil movie released.
That's exciting.
Now, I do love Resident Evil, and the live action movies are fucking shit. So when they put out the first animated, the CG one, Degeneration, I was like, cool, and I watched it, and it was great, and I loved it.
Animated movie?
Yeah, it's CG. I mean, CG animation.
Okay, cool.
And then they released the next one, Resident Evil Damnation, and it fucking sucked, and that was a shame. So the next one is coming out. It's debuting in Japan next spring. There's no announcement for the international release date yet. It's set after the events of Resident Evil 6, but before the events of the upcoming Resident Evil 7, which is cool because it'll tie the games together.
Yeah.
It's going to feature characters from the series, including Leon, Chris, and Rebecca.
Leon Greyjoy?
Rebecca Chambers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Leon Kennedy and Chris Redfield.
Oh, I know who all those are.
You really do. And our last article...
Oh, it's the best one.
It's about a movie that no one gives a flying fuck about.
Oh, nobody.
No one.
Nobody. Dude, you know what? What's really great is that this Beetlejuice 2 movie is going to be so good.
Beetlejuice 2, it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lionsgate has just revealed via the films...
There's no Beetlejuice 2.
What? They didn't reveal that.
That there's none, or that there is?
There's none.
They also didn't reveal that there is.
So?
So we're at a standstill.
No, we're not, because I said Lionsgate just revealed it, but they haven't revealed anything, so you lied. Revealed via the film's official Twitter feed, a late addition to the Power Rangers cast. Bill Hader is set to voice the teen's robot, Rita Repulsa. That doesn't even make any sense. She's not a robot. She's not a robot. And she's a chick. And she doesn't need voiced. And it's not Bill Hader. Johnny Number 5. He's voicing Johnny Number 5 from Short Circuit.
I don't even know what that is.
They ripped off... Fucking Power Rangers ripped off Short Circuit. What a bunch of assholes. Alpha 5 is just a rip-off of Johnny Number 5.
Short Circuit's not even a real thing.
It's a real movie that's great. You can go fuck yourself. Johnny Number 5 is still alive.
Why'd you say it like that?
I couldn't remember how the robot said it.
Are you being prejudiced?
I couldn't remember how the
Johnny
robot...
number 5 is still alive.
Well, the guy in the movie that says it is, he talks like that. He's like, Johnny number 5. But Johnny number 5 didn't talk like that. He's the one that said Johnny number 5 is still alive. So I confused myself.
Is this Johnny Tsunami?
No, it's a movie that Power Rangers has ripped off. And Pacific Rim also ripped it off too.
Oh, Short Circuit? Are there giant robots that fight like giant monsters?
Short Circuit is basically the live-action version of WALL-E. In as much as WALL-E looks exactly like Short Circuit.
Alright, so you're telling me Power Rangers is nothing like Short Circuit?
No.
No, you aren't, or no, it's not?
We'll leave that up to the listening audience.
Dun, 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 dun.
No, it's not.
Dun.
It's really not. That's it. That's the end of that.
The end.
So now we're going to take a short break.
Yep.
And then we're going to be back with Comics Gable Review. Wah, wah, wah,
Wah,
wah.
wah.
Alright, we'll be back.
Fuck off.
You're such a fucking bitch, dude. I'm so disappointed in you. Why would you do that?
Reasons not to date me.
I guarantee you whatever you put won't be as funny as what I put. This is really entertaining. Our viewers, our listeners hearing you tweet right now. We are back, you know.
This is what happens when you don't tell me we're back. This is exactly...
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to go over this with our audience right now. So I just sent out a tweet that I thought was really funny. The hashtag was reasons not to date me, and I put hashtag reasons not to date me. I've been convicted on 3 counts of rape and am a registered sex offender. I also like Power Rangers. That's funny. It's a joke. And what was your stance on it, Gable?
It'll attract the wrong crowd.
And Gable...
Or no crowd at all.
Gable thinks it's too offensive.
Worse yet, yeah.
Gable thinks it's too offensive and it's not funny. It's just...
I just don't think it's funny.
I think it's... Then why were you laughing so much when I did it?
Between me and you, it'd be something funny. Like,
so you're saying
Gable likes Power Rangers, then this is me fucking with Gable. But to
I wasn't
other
even
people,
thinking about it being fucking with you.
That's why I thought it was funny, because it was you fucking with me.
I wasn't fucking with you.
I didn't think it was funny because Dave said Dave heard something about us being registered sex offenders.
It's funny! We're clearly, like, I don't understand anything anyone would think that we're actually registered sex offenders.
They've never met us.
So we're just going to go on Twitter and be like, hey everyone, we're registered sex offenders and we're rapists. And we're just going to say that on Twitter, following all of our 9/11 jokes and all of our jokes about the Steelers. Come on now, Gable. You just got scared, Gable. You pussied out.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I don't have balls.
Unbelievable, Gable.
I don't have balls.
This is so upsetting.
I don't have balls. What if I want to run for president one day?
The tweet's now gone.
What if I want to run for president?
Well, when they see that you are a registered sex offender, you won't get elected.
That's true.
We made jokes about being a registered sex offender on the show. Well, how come we can't put them on Twitter?
For the record, neither of us are registered sex offenders.
I think that goes without saying.
Oh yeah, because they've met us and they know us so well.
Because they listen to the show and can gauge our sense of humor and have some common sense.
I am pretty awful.
Okay, I think anyone listening to this show gets our sense of humor at this point. If they tune to the show and the first thing they hear on this podcast is we're registered sex offenders, maybe you have a point. If they started on this episode 40 minutes in and they hear us saying registered sex offenders, they might get scared away.
Alright.
Okay, every single person that's listening to this podcast, all one of you, or maybe 2, go ahead and tweet us if you think it was a bad idea, and then Gable will get a victory. Gable's going to get a victory.
No one's gonna take my side.
Why not?
Because I'm Gable.
What does that even mean?
My whole life I've had nobody on my side. I'm like a sports underdog sports movie that never got their comeuppance.
Comeuppance. Yeah, okay, so...
Comeuppance can be good and not
so
bad,
just to remind everyone, hashtag reasons not to date me. I've been convicted on 3 counts of rape and am a registered sex offender. I also like Power Rangers. If you think that's funny, let us know. If you think it's dumb and we went too far, we crossed the line maybe. If we crossed the line, you let us know. And then
I don't really feel like talking about this anymore.
You've only been talking about it for 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Not that I am annoyed by it, but I'm just bored with it.
It's the real stuff, man. They're seeing some behind the scenes shit right here. We were on our Twitter when we came back. Kids game. They heard you tweeting as we came back. They heard you pushing buttons on your phone. Did you come up with a replacement tweet?
All right, guys, send me your tweets right now, and I will tweet something that you think.
No, what did you come up with a replacement tweet or no?
No.
All right. What if I put
reasons not to date me?
What if I put hashtag reasons not to date me? I plan on raping someone at 9 p.m. tomorrow night. Please try and find me. Is that too?
That's helpful.
Okay, I was just kidding. I was trying to make it even worse.
Yeah. Reasons not to date me.
There's some sort of wax fungus growing out of my tub. This is a true story. Don't put that. That's not even funny. That's funny to me and you. No one's going to get what the fuck the point of it is.
Except the people who listen to the podcast.
So we'll get one person that will think it's funny. No, that one's not funny. Let's see. Reasons not to date me. I have jerked off to Bill Hader.
Bill Hader?
Yeah. There we go. That'll do. I've jerked off to Bill Hader. Made me come. Sexually what?
Arouses me.
There you go. That'll do. Only when I pretend he's Alpha 5. There we go. Yeah. That's actually more offensive in my opinion. We're attacking Bill Hader and Alpha 5.
All right.
Now, what are we even doing here? Oh yeah. Well, first let's get into Comic Gable's review.
Comics Gable review.
Because I'm a fucking idiot, and I said we'll be back with Comics Gable review because I don't know how to speak properly. All right. Okay, come on, man. What are we doing here? Let's get some reviewing going.
All right. First review is International Iron Man #1, written by Brian Michael Bendis, and art is by Alex Maleev. How would you say that? Maleev?
It's by Adam Kubert.
Alright, you're looking at something else that's not even... I don't know what you're looking at.
This is written by Mark Waid and art by Adam Kubert.
Alright, that's all new, all different Avengers.
Written by Brian Michael Bendis, art by Alex Maleev.
Maleev. Here's
Alex
pictures
Maleev.
for you to play with.
Ooh, I like pictures.
Alright, so this week
Looks like Iron Man's getting it.
I haven't been using my tablet lately for comics. I've been using my phone.
Right in a tablet? What are you talking about?
I'm going to keep moving on now. I've been reading... I used to read them on my tablet when I first got my tablet, but then the Marvel app wasn't working with my tablet because the Marvel, they don't make a very good app.
That's not nice.
No, they don't.
It's not nice of you to say that.
Oh, well, it's not nice for me to pay $10 a month for an app that works half the time.
Well, don't pay it. Welcome to the WWE Network, Gable. I pay $9.99 a month, and it never fucking works.
It's such a good app, but at the same time, there's so many issues with it all the time.
Yeah.
But recently I got it back working, and it could have started working a while ago.
What is that guy doing? Oh, I guess he's floating, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought he was he had 1 foot on the building, was just hanging out there. I'm like, what's that?
Yeah, he's just a robot.
Okay.
I guess it could have started working again a while ago, but I just haven't tried it lately. And I tried it the other day.
I don't understand what you're talking about. It works on one thing, but not the other. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so I was having an issue where when I would put the comics offline, it wouldn't let me access the comic. For some reason, it needed to be connected to the internet for the offline comics to work.
Well, of course, it's offline. Why would you try to use it offline?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, since my phone at least had a partial connection for the offline ones, I still didn't have to let it load or anything, but all I needed was access to the internet. Maybe it couldn't tell I was an actual user if I'm offline on my tablet, but it could on my phone since I'm connected
I see.
to the internet still. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, this week I read, first one I read was International Iron Man #1.
I just want to start off by saying I don't like the drawing in this, the art style.
You don't like the art style?
I don't like any of this.
Yeah, well
that's why I was wondering if it's going to change.
Go back to that first page. That's a different art style than that. So maybe since it's a flashback, sometimes when they do flashbacks or they change the scene of the story or something, they'll use a different artist. So I think this is one of those situations where it's a flashback, and so they're using a different art style. But yeah, this is based. It seems based off the intro for it. It seems like it's going to be focusing on Tony Stark's lineage rather than his adventures as Iron Man. Because I know. Let's see. I even went as far to look this up because this happened before I even started reading. As part of the Marvel Now, Iron Man, written by Kieran Gillen and illustrated by Greg Land. In the series, it was revealed that Tony was adopted and he had a disabled half-brother named Arno. Yeah, well, Arno's a weird name.
He's disabled.
Oh.
I was laughing at the wrong part. My bad.
This is why we're bad people.
Yeah. Nothing to do with rape.
Yeah, but basically Tony Stark's parents aren't his real parents, so that's kind of something he's been trying to figure out.
Lineage. Isn't lineage when you like fucking... Isn't that when you like knit something with wool on like a turning thing?
A tourniquet? No, you're...
Tourniquet's something you use if you hurt your leg. We're both retarded. Alright, go back to what you were talking about.
I didn't know it was... Okay, yeah, it seems like this international Iron Man story...
International Iron Man story.
It seems like it's going to focus more on the...
his lineage.
His who his actual parents are, as opposed to...
So you're saying that in this story, the parents that have been... Like he's always mentioned that I haven't read the comics. So in the movies, those aren't his real parents?
Yeah.
They aren't.
Well, in the movie, I don't know what they'll end up doing, but as far as the movie is concerned, those are his real parents.
But I mean, like in the comics, to this point, were those the parents in the comics?
I believe so.
So in the comics, you're saying those weren't his real parents?
Yes.
For like the guys, the ones.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
There you go.
I gotcha.
We're on the right path there. This issue seemed to... it's only the first issue, so there's not really a lot to it. We experience a flashback from Tony.
With some really shitty music. I'm forever blowing bubbles. Pretty bubbles in the air. They fly so high, they reach the sky. This is a shitty song.
I didn't even read that. Like, I was just like, there's music going on, I'm just going to scroll past it.
And then it says, the bubbles, they fade and die, and like my dreams, they reach the sky. This is dumb.
Maybe there's some poetic meaning to it.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but in the flashback, it flashed back to Tony's, like, college days, pre-Iron Man stuff.
Oh, that's him?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he meets a girl named Cassandra, who's the daughter of one of the rival companies of his dad's. And one night they go out for dinner, and Hydra attacks them, and Tony saves the day. Gets shot in the process. And
Tony gets shot?
Yeah. This is all summing it up very quickly, because that's whenever you get to that last page of the comic, and it's Cassandra. It's Cassandra in present day. Cassandra's the name of the girl. Her in present day, standing over Tony. And she's the one who attacked him. So we don't really know why
Cassandra attacked Tony?
Yeah, well, from what I could tell.
I thought you said he was going to dinner with her and Hydra attacked.
That's in the flashback.
Oh,
we're
in
back to
present day
now.
Cassandra attacks him.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, did they say he was adopted or something, or you don't know anything about it?
I don't know anything about it.
So they don't say in this one, they're not going into why it's not his real parents, you just know it's not.
No, yeah. Justin, if you go to this first page and read the intro real quick. Here, I'll read this real quick, just so... Ooh.
Oh boy, ooh.
Do you think I should read the intros from now on?
What do the intros do? Is it a synopsis of what's going to happen?
Not what's going to happen, what has happened up to this point.
Yeah.
Okay. Billionaire, playboy, and genius industrial Tony Stark was kidnapped during a routine weapons test. His captors attempted to force him to build a weapon of mass destruction. Instead, he created a powered suit of armor that saved his life. From that day on, he used that suit to protect the world as the invincible Iron Man. Recently, Tony discovered that the people who raised him weren't his birth parents.
Huh.
So,
interesting.
Yeah, that's all I really know about it.
So they haven't said how he discovered it or anything?
Are you still on that, or are you done?
No, I'm done.
Oh, okay. No, they haven't really gone much into depth about in either this or Invincible Iron Man about his parents, but I did learn when doing the research on his when this became a thing about him being adopted. I did accidentally read that in one of the upcoming issues they reveal who it is, and I read the name.
Who adopted him?
Yeah. I'm not gonna say it.
So in this so far, he doesn't know who his real parents are. He just knows the other ones were. Why does his Iron Man hand look like a retarded fucking like painting that makes no
on the
sense?
cover here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know who those girls are. I guess one's Cassandra. I don't know who the other one is.
It's like Bob Ross is trying to give like his arm a little friend to play with or something. Like, I don't understand.
Let's give him a little friend.
Give him a little friend. He looks his Iron Man. His little Iron Man fist looks lonely. Let's give him a little friend.
Yeah.
Jack Kirby worked on this?
It probably just gives him
Holy shit, dude!
Probably just gives him credit for the original character.
Groundbreaking.
What they say he did.
It says he wrote and illustrated this comic book.
That's not true.
That's what it says.
I need to say things that aren't true. Where's his name? Created by Stan Lee, Larry Lieber, Don Heck, and Jack Kirby.
Inked by Jack Kirby.
Nope.
This is inked by Jack Kirby right there.
Not.
I'm reading it. It says inked by Jack Kirby.
Does not.
Does not.
Anyway, as far as how I felt about the actual comic.
Oh wait, did you say who it said that it was, or no? Did you not say that out loud?
Said that what was?
That who is real?
I did not say that.
So you're not going to say it?
I only remember half the name. The first.
I kind of want to know.
Look it up. Do it on your own time. I don't want to know.
What am I looking up?
Tony Stark's birth parents.
And what if it just says Tony Stark Sr.?
And then you're a jackass, and we'll move on with the podcast.
That's not very nice.
It's a shame.
I didn't do anything wrong. Why are you being so mean?
Do you
to
want
me?
a list of the things you've done wrong?
I haven't done anything wrong ever.
You didn't notice my hair today, Dave. I did it differently than normal.
No, you didn't. It looks identical.
It's different.
Are you still on this one? You moved
Well,
to the next
but
one.
as far as how I actually felt about the comic, I felt like it was a good. It left you wanting to figure out. It gave you more questions than it did answers, and it definitely I'm going to be on all over that next issue. As soon as I see that on Marvel Unlimited for free, not paying for that shit. Would I actually buy it if it was worth what?
Doesn't even make any sense.
Dude,
I'm not going to tell you. It's just dumb.
Yeah. But if I had to actually buy this comic and I knew what the contract was, I would not spend $3.99.
All right, hold on. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Gable thought it would be funny to start vacuuming while we were trying to fucking do our podcast. I don't know why he thought that was a good idea.
I have a chronic masturbation problem.
Wait, what?
What?
What are you vacuuming with that? Okay.
Okay.
What, do you like put your dick like inside the fucking vacuum hose?
Yeah. It's a personal issue. I don't like talking about it in public, but
So back to your International Iron Man.
I would give it a read it.
Well, you probably should explain the rating before you give your first one.
That's where I'm here, Dave.
That's where I'm here?
That's why I'm here, Dave.
What's even going on right now? Nothing you're saying makes any sense.
Clowns.
Okay, so Gable is introducing his his new rating system for his segment.
Yeah, I notice most of the time I forget to give these comics a rating, and they're not really. I don't think I could really go as far as to give it like out of 10 stars type deal, but I'm going to make it simple. I know a lot of other shows that exist in the podcasting business have a 3-tier system, and I'm going.
Is there any specific one you'd like to credit for this idea?
I generally list. I mean, it didn't really.
Is there a number of them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
Yeah, there's quite a few. But since I use Marvel Unlimited for all my comics, I'm going to make it real simple. I will either
fuck it,
drop it.
Oh.
I will drop it. That's a common term used for comics whenever you don't want to continue a series.
So drop it as if you hate the comic.
If I do not want to read any more of it, I am dropping it.
Okay.
It's done. If it's okay, I'll read it.
Average, you're going to read it.
But if it's something so good that I would want to physically own a copy and add it to my collection, like it's that good, I'm like I'd read this again in the future. Buy it.
Okay, so if it's a piece of shit, you're gonna drop it. If you think it's alright, you're gonna read it. If you fucking love it,
or maybe
you're gonna
shelf
buy
it. I'll shelf it.
Alright, you should have came up with this before.
This was a classic moment for Breakroom Bullshit. We just came up with the rating system.
Wait, is shelf it the
shelf it's the one where I want to buy it.
Because you're putting it on your shelf.
Because I'm putting it on my shelf.
Okay, drop it. It sucks. Read it. It's all right. It's good. And then shelf it. It's fucking awesome.
Love it.
All right. So what's this one?
This is a read it.
Oh,
this is a read it. If this was probably further into the series, we could potentially be seeing some shelf hits in the future from the series. This one's showing some good potential, but for now we're just gonna give it a read it.
Okay, your first rating and you're giving it a read it. All right. Now let me ask you this: if you give something a drop it and then a year later you read another one in the series, do I get to like punch you in the face or something because you didn't drop it?
Sure.
I don't want to punch you in the face.
You're right. These are sour. Really sour.
Yeah, my cum tastes like that. What's next?
Boy. All new, all different Avengers.
Oh.
Written by Mark Waid and art by Adam Kubert.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm having trouble keeping up with all the different fucking uncanny, ultimate, nutty, silly, crazy, adventurous, different fucking... Which ones did we review? What was the one last week? Was it Uncanny Avengers 7?
Uncanny, but I've noticed that when they refer to the Uncanny Avengers group, they'll call them the Unity group. Okay. I explained to you why it's the Unity group.
So you decided...
But this seems to be... The all new, all different Avengers seems to be the core Avengers group.
So basically what you decided was to make things even more complicated and confusing, you'll do 2 issue number 7s of 2 different Avengers series.
Was last week's the number 7?
Yes.
Yeah, it just happened that like
it's pretty funny.
I'm not the one releasing these in order here, so
you fucking prick. It's all your fault. Okay, that was nice.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Here's pretty colors for you, Dave.
All right, let me clean my hand off before I touch it.
Passing Dave the tablet so you can look at the pictures.
I want to fuck Thor. Look at that.
So in this issue of all new, all different Avengers,
Spider-Man looks pretty cool. Like the black and the red there?
Yeah, Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Oh, the suit looks pretty cool.
Dude, I hope they put him in the cinematic universe.
Why don't you give me more of these things to look at, you prick? This is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Rogue?
Last week I mentioned at the beginning of the comic they did a lot of like individual character type things. This one was more of like a relationship building. Like the 2 characters would have moments at the beginning of... What is that? Why is that?
I'm just sitting it there in case it's needed.
Oh, do I have to hold it up?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad everyone knows what we're talking about. They'll never know what we're talking about. We'll just blow by it.
You're not gonna fucking believe this. This one is also written by Jack Kirby. It says right on the bottom here.
Jack Kirby dead?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Anyway.
Yeah, but it's not exactly team building exercise because they're not all working together as a group. But we see some short moments with the Falcon and Thor where Falcon recently in this series discovered that Thor is actually a woman who has cancer. And
is that her?
What? Yeah, that's her.
Well, who's that?
Is
that female Thor. Batman?
That's Thor.
Oh.
It does, yeah. Yeah, but Falcon discusses his thoughts on why she would do that to herself, and he seems to think that...
What do you mean, do it to herself?
Well, the whole thing with Thor where when she has she goes through her treatments, and then as soon as she gets the power of Thor, it counteracts all her treatments. Yeah. He thinks that she's secretly doing it because she wants to die honorably, and she's putting herself in a situation where she will die. So
he's saying she shouldn't be making herself Thor since she's sick and has cancer.
Yeah.
But when she's Thor, isn't she all powerful?
Yeah.
Well, then why?
I don't know why she can't stay Thor. I'm assuming there's a reason.
Maybe it's the same reason that Yoda can fucking fight like a crazy ninja, but then go back to using his cane right afterwards.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Makes sense. We also see some relationship building between Vision and Miss Marvel. In one of the previous issues, Vision got his mind taken over. It was evil and stuff.
Is that Miss Marvel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vision got his mind taken over and stuff, and kind of tarnished Miss Marvel's name.
Oh boy.
And now that he's back to normal, he's trying to get forgiveness from her. So he gets her like this headset.
I'm sorry.
And we're gonna see headsets come out for VR like this, but you can actually experience for the gift. You can actually experience past Avenger experiences, which would be really cool if those were fucking real, like on VR headsets and shit. I've never used a VR headset, but if I could sit there and beat up Thanos all day, that'd be really fucking cool.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah. Next, you see the team get called downtown to fight a character that is named Night Phantom. I've never heard of him before.
Is that Samuel Jackson? The character is that Night Phantom?
No. Night Phantom, I guess, is an old Marvel's character because they keep poking fun at, like, what year is this? Oh, whatever.
Is that Falcon then? Is that who that is?
No, that's Dr. Voodoo.
Who the fuck? What's about Dr. Voodoo?
Yeah, you don't really know much. I guess other people might know more about him, but I don't know anything about him.
Oh, okay.
They haven't really gone too much into his character. He's part of that Unity squad, though. Night Phantom, you get me sidetracked. Night Phantom.
Sidetracked.
Fuck you, man.
I'm asking legit questions. I don't know who this guy is.
Who?
That's why I was asking you.
I told you.
Yeah, but I wasn't sidetracked. I was just asking.
So Night Phantom's downtown, and he's fucking shit up, and he wants... he's pissed off because he escapes Pleasant Hill. Remember Pleasant Hill?
Yeah, it's Maria Hill's...
her little fake reality place.
When she had her fucking clone buddy or whoever it was.
Yeah,
oh boy, it's getting good.
Yeah. So... him ranting about this Pleasant Hill place alerts...
So these are in the same universe, this one and last week's Uncanny.
Yeah, we'll get there. So him ranting about this place, this Pleasant Hill place, alerts the team, this Avengers team, about Pleasant Hill, and you see Maria Hill be like, oh shit. Well, she doesn't say shit, but she's all pissed.
Who was ranting about it?
Maria, that Night Phantom guy.
Oh, okay,
he escaped from there with, like, bandages on his face. And Tony Stark talks his way into having Maria Hill take him to Pleasant Hill.
Oh, boy.
In a Quinjet. You know the Quinjets?
Like Quinn Mallory from Sliders?
Yeah, they're basically like these, like, really high-tech... Yeah, okay. So, they get there, they get to Pleasant Hill... and they see the Unity squad there with another Maria Hill. And she's like, dude, that's where the last one ended, remember?
Yeah,
that's where the Uncanny one ended.
So it starts right where that one.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And I was like, oh, fuck, it all ties in together now. This is so exciting.
Yeah.
So I'm really not sure why there are two Maria Hills, but I can kind of guess because... the Maria Hill who's in the Quinjet with the...
I just confused you.
You did. The Maria Hill who's in the Quinjet starts firing on the Unity squad with that Maria Hill.
Okay, so the Maria Hill that was in the Quinjet, that's the one that Tony Stark's with her and they went.
Yeah.
And Tony Stark's with her and they start firing on the other Avengers?
Yeah, I think she knows that there was another Maria Hill and wanted to create confusion.
And Stark's like, what the fuck's going on? Why are you doing this?
So then they start fighting each other, both the Avenger squads.
But why are the Avengers fighting the other Avengers? Why are they following this Maria Hill and doing it?
Maybe the ones on each team think the other ones are bad for some reason.
Huh.
And I'm not really... I kind of questioned that too myself. I was like, why would they question the other Avengers? Why wouldn't they just trust them and be like, hey, what's going on? You know?
It seems they didn't even try to find out what's going on. They're just like, let's fight.
But the Maria Hill instantly started shooting, so that kind of got the pot stirred. You know what I mean?
I see.
So maybe there wasn't any time to react. But as they're fighting, they start to realize that there's a dome surrounding them, a clear dome, and it starts snowing. And you're like, why the fuck is it snowing now? And they're all confused, and They can't really go anywhere, and they're aiming all their energy at the invisible force field now to try to get out.
Yeah.
And the screen starts panning out, and you see the girl who is the human form of the cosmic cube thing. You see her holding a snow globe with all of them in it. So she's fucking with reality.
I was going to interrupt you and ask if they were inside a snow globe.
They are. They are literally in a snow... Well, aren't you holding it in front of you there?
No.
You aren't that far yet?
Well, I was going to ask you. I didn't want to interrupt you. That's why I waited. Was that Thanos?
Yeah, that's her putting the glasses on that we were talking about earlier.
Oh. Yeah. I was like, why are you talking about Thanos, you asshole? But you did.
Yeah. But yeah, this was because it's part of this whole Pleasant Hill event. It definitely had me a little more excited than normal, a little more geeking out about it. But I'm going to give this one a.
I already know what this one's going to be.
This is getting a shelf it.
I knew it.
It's getting a shelf it. We're shelving it. Saving that for later.
I'm reading this page and it's funny.
We're not too far into the Pleasant Hill storyline.
Well, no, this page you see the Unity Avengers down there with the one Maria Hill, and then that Maria Hill sees the one on the plane, and the one on the ground's like, "What's she doing?" And then Thor up here is like, "I smell a foul stench in the air, Hill. By what madness are there two of you?" And the Hill just goes, "Huh, that sure as hell wasn't the plane." Oh well, and starts firing. And Iron Man's like, "No," and she's just firing. Well, I feel like they should have been like, "Stop firing Maria Hill," and it stopped her. You know what I mean? Instead of fighting each other.
Yeah.
It's just weird they would fight each other.
Take control of the situation.
Yeah.
I almost forgot I got a little ahead of my notes here and didn't finish one note. I read halfway through it, but didn't finish it. After she picks up the snow globe, it opens with a scene of Tony and Miles working on a car together in a garage. So now that Cosmic Cube girl put them inside that town where all the villains were.
Oh boy.
So basically now the Avengers don't know who they are.
I see, and this is continuing in the next Uncanny one.
From what that's what it said, right?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh, that sounds pretty cool.
Definitely a shelf it though.
Alright. Is that
be following that story very closely.
Is that a wrap? Anything else to add?
A wrap. Keep in mind all these shelf its, these are all if I had money to spend on that. We have bills to pay and stuff.
I mean, not necessarily shelf doesn't mean you're gonna buy it, just means it's really great.
It's worth buying.
Yeah. Alright. Alright folks, thanks for staying with us through a Comic Gables review. And I'm gonna take a break here.
Alright.
We'll be back.
Bye y'all.
For you. Alright, and we're back, and we were just discussing how much we both want to fuck Alexa Bliss. Oh, Alexa Bliss is so hot. Here we're back. Let's do some movie reviews, dude. What do you think?
No.
No?
Nope. And that's the end.
Please.
Bye. Sweet Caroline. Dave sucks dicks.
That wasn't very nice. Now everyone's gonna know that I suck dick. That sucks.
What are we doing first?
We're gonna review the Magnificent Seven first.
Can we do Storks first?
Yes.
I want to get this out of the way because I just want to get it out of the way, man.
Well, there was a reason why I wanted to do this first, but you can go ahead.
Is there?
Yeah.
Is it important?
More of a formatting thing.
Interesting. Anyway. So Storks.
The main reason was because I was going to be doing a lot of reading with this, and I'll probably be doing most of the reading for Babadook, and I figured you would be in the middle doing most of your reading in between them. To break them up.
Just because I'm a bad reader.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
What the fuck?
Anyway.
Hey, how about that Storks flick?
That's Storks. Hey, so Storks had a short at the beginning of the movie.
Really? Wait, who made this? What is it? It's not Pixar. Is it DreamWorks? What is it?
I don't think it's Pixar or DreamWorks. I don't know.
Is it a Rubik's Cube?
I don't think it's either of those things.
Is it Snowden's production company?
I don't know what that means. Oh, because he had the Rubik's Cube and he did the thing from Now You See Me Too.
Oh, you actually did listen to my review, you fuck.
Yeah, I was here in the room with you.
Yes, that doesn't mean you're listening.
Yeah, you sound just like my girlfriend. Do I make that joke too much?
You do. You can keep doing it.
Okay. Yeah, there was a Lego short at the beginning of this movie about some Lego chicken master thing.
The
Kung
fuck?
Fu Chicken Master. It was like tied in. I think they were trying to promote that Ninjago movie they're trying to do.
I don't know what that means.
They're doing some ninja movie. Lego
Come on, Ninja Guy name.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't funny at all.
The movie wasn't.
The Lego short.
Oh.
The Lego short set a really awful. Like it made me angry. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm gonna sit here and watch Storks now.
It made me angry.
Dave stuck me with fucking Wildlife last time, so now I have to sit here and watch Storks. This is bullshit.
You get the shit assignments.
like that's how I felt at watching at the end of the.
Well, it's funny because what happens is you get to work and I have like a paper posted up on the doors like this week what we're watching. I have it assigned. And every week you're like, fuck man, how come I always get these shitty ones? I'm like, sorry Gable, that's just how it happened to fall this week.
Yeah, but it was not funny at all. It was just basically this
the short
racist Asian looking stereotype dude fighting a chicken the entire thing.
That's exciting.
Yeah. And it was stupid. It was not cute or had any moral thing like
Compass?
a Pixar movie would be.
Oh,
You know how the Pixar shorts have like a nice little moral lesson to them.
Like, be nice. Don't be a dick.
Yeah. And it was not funny. Had no moral lesson. Wasn't cute in any shape or in any way. I'm giving the short 1 star.
Out of 10?
1 star out of 10. It was really bad.
Oh boy, that's pretty bad.
I can't give it a 0 because I know like maybe a 4-year-old might be entertained by it.
Well, hopefully Storks was better than this short.
I don't know if Storks, my opinion of Storks...
I just thought of something, dude. What if they purposely made this really shitty short?
I was about to say
Were
this.
you?
What if they made it like... What if the short was so shitty that I had such a low expectation of what the movie was going to be that I liked it so much more?
Yeah, maybe they made Storks and they're like, this is alright, but you know how we can make it great? Let's put a really fucking bad short in front of it to make it look better. It's like the hot chick that hangs out, or the chick that hangs out to the fat ugly friend.
Yeah,
so she looks better.
Wasn't there a movie, The Buff or something? The ugly fat friend or something.
Was it the name of it? The ugly fat
Duff,
friend?
The Duff.
Oh, the Duff, yeah.
Designated ugly fat friend.
Yeah.
The Buff. I was close.
The Shia LaBeouf.
The Shia LaBeouf.
The Buff.
The story is about an orphan human named Tulip who was never delivered to her family and ended up working in the Stork warehouse for the rest of her life. She's only 18, so I guess 18 years.
So this is like, she's just a human?
Yeah. The Storks have since moved on from delivering babies to delivering online orders such as cell phones and other electronics. However, Tulip finds herself in a predicament with Junior, a stork trying to become the boss of the warehouse, and they must deliver a baby that was accidentally made by the company's old baby making machine. So
sounds really weird.
Yeah.
Was Tulip hot?
I don't know. She was a.
She was 18, right?
I'm not afraid to say a cartoon's hot, but I mean, I just really didn't.
She didn't do nothing for you.
No.
I mean, so you were watching alone. You didn't jerk off.
It wasn't. Oh boy. This is how people end up in jail, Dave. This is how we get on that list.
No. You're not allowed to. Indecent exposures when you show someone something they don't want to see. The Storks would have been happy to see your
public
fucking
masturbations.
If you don't get caught.
That's true. The movie had a very goofy style of comedy. I don't know if you yourself would enjoy it as much.
I liked a goofy movie.
Yeah, I have a couple examples in here. Like there's this pigeon. Did you see the pigeon in the trailers?
No, I didn't even see a trailer.
You didn't see a trailer?
No.
There's this pigeon who's like says "bruh" the whole time.
Bruh.
He's like a douche like that. And there's this scene where Tulip and Junior are in an elevator trying to act casual with the pigeon because they're trying to they aren't supposed to let anyone know the baby was accidentally made by the machine. So they're just playing casual in there. And the guy's like, "Do you see that game last night? Crazy ending, right?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, sure." He's like, "It's crazy. We came all that way just to win." And they're like, "Oh yeah, good thing we won." But then we lose at the end. And he's like, "Oh," no. And they kept changing their mind because he kept changing what the ending of the game was. Well, not changing the ending, but finishing it further. and they kept changing their mind, and they're like, all right, well, this is our stop, we gotta go, bye. And he's like, wait a second, there was no game. And, like, I don't understand why he went in such a detailed explanation of the story and just, there was no game in the first place.
Where's he getting his information from?
Right, it was just really funny. Like, it didn't make any sense, but it was...
He was making it up without realizing
right,
he was making it
right.
up.
It was such a stupid, like, idea, but,
So
like...
I have to see that to think of. I think it's funny. I can't tell.
It's, like, really weird. Like, you kind of had to see it to think it's funny type thing. There's also a moment later where he catches that, like, he got suspicious after that in the elevator.
I wonder why.
Because there was no game. So he's the one who's, like, doing this big investigation about what they're up to. And when he finally figures out, he's like, what's he say? Oh, fuck, I wrote it down. He starts singing a song.
Alouette, Jante Alouette, Alouette, Jante Pumele.
Oh, he kept saying, how you like me now? How you like me now? How you like me now? And then for no reason, a music video of that song by The Heavy, How You Like Me Now. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know the
How
song.
you like me now? Dun, 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 dun. How you like me now? You never heard that?
I probably heard of it.
Dude, if you heard it, you know it, but...
was it a live action music video?
No, it's just him broke into a music video where other birds were like dancing behind him and stuff. I'm like, there was no reason for that to happen in this scene at all, but it was really funny.
Oh boy!
It was just a stupid sense of humor and like.
Okay, this baby making machine that actually made a baby. Like, how did someone just like jerk off on it and some cum got in there? Like, how does it accidentally make a baby? I don't understand.
There was a kid who wrote a letter because he wanted a sibling to the Storks, but the Storks haven't made babies in years.
But how does it make babies?
I'll get there. You
Okay.
need to let me finish. You see this?
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to be so mean about it.
So he wrote the letter and sent it to the Storks, and Tulip, who was in charge of all the letters, there aren't like any letters, and that's like a joke. She's like sitting in the letter warehouse, and there's no letters because everyone uses email now. She gets this letter, and she delivers it, and it's meant to go to the baby part, like the baby machine thing. She delivers it there, and it starts making a baby. And that's when Junior comes in and is like, why is it making a baby? It's not supposed to be doing this. And
So I was right, you didn't answer my question. I said, how does it make babies? That was my question. And
he puts an envelope in, and it just like...
So a baby just like materializes or something?
Basically. There's like this like big looking star sun type thing in the middle, and it just makes babies.
There wasn't any... The machine didn't get mad for someone not pulling
Maybe
out or
it's a lie.
something? Like...
No, there's not two people in the middle of this having sex the whole time.
That's a shame.
There's just one woman producing multiple babies.
The envelope is the dick and the machine is the pussy.
Jeez.
That's what it is.
You're not wrong.
That's what it is.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's the sperm.
Yeah. And the baby, when it comes out of the machine, gets squashed for something, that's the abortion.
It's a little dark for a children's movie there, dude.
I don't know.
What I really liked about this movie,
Yeah.
it breaks the fourth wall all the time.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Like, there's this scene where the boy's mom, like, they have to build this thing on the roof to, like, get the Stork's attention for when it delivers the baby. But they're like, oh, Storks haven't delivered in years, but, I guess I should talk more about this kid first here.
Well, if the Storks aren't delivering the babies anymore, how are people getting the babies in this world?
They're doing it the old-fashioned way, I guess.
Which is...
Gophers. Gophers deliver them.
I just don't understand. What if the babies get run over when the gophers are carrying them?
Maybe this is a metaphor to like when your kid asks where babies come from. You just kind of beat around the bush and hope they forget about it. Because I forgot about it, by the end of this movie.
Forget about what?
Where the babies would come from.
But I just don't understand, like, in this world, like, so in this universe, the Storks are delivering babies. Like, the old, okay, I get it. It's not real, but that's what they're doing in this world. The Storks deliver babies. They make them, they deliver them. So then the Storks are like, there's not enough money in baby delivery. Let's go. We're going to be the new Amazon.
Yeah.
Well, then how are people
getting
getting their babies now in this universe?
Yeah, I didn't really pose that question. I have ADHD, Dave. Did you know that?
I just know, but I just don't get. It doesn't make any sense. Like,
I did pose that question at one point and then completely forgot about it.
They're trying to pretend it was China and they didn't want anyone to have babies anymore or something?
Yeah, must be. But yeah, there is like kind of like a sub-story going on with the kid you see the kid, the whole reason he writes the letter is because his parents aren't paying enough attention to him. They're like so invested in this realty business they have. But eventually you see as the story progresses, the father gets involved with the kid and the mom then later gets involved. And whenever she makes the decision that she's going to start playing with him and getting like this stork thing prepared, she takes a sledgehammer and she, in one swing, takes out the chimney because they're building on the roof. And as soon as that happened, I'm like, how does such a small woman take out that chimney in one swing? And as soon as I got done asking myself that, this is like nearly an exact quote from her. Oh wow, this chimney must have been in really bad shape. There's no way a woman of my size should have been able to do that. And
That's pretty funny.
Like, they knew I was going to ask that.
That's funny.
Yeah, there's just stuff
That's clever.
There was just stuff like that throughout the movie. Like,
so they answered that question, but not the other one that I had. That's fine.
No, they may have. I just don't remember. But
okay.
There's also another scene where Tulip and Junior are sneaking through like this shipping yard with the baby. And the baby's crying and stuff, and they're like, shh, we have to get the baby quiet, it's going to be suspicious. And the guard comes around the corner like, there's a baby crying, this is suspicious.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, like it was just like real like...
That's cool.
Yeah, fourth wall breaking scenarios there. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much.
That's a lot of exclamation marks after your rating there. I'm saying.
Yeah, I have too many. I did have a question that was kind of. I mean, it's a cartoon, so like there's gonna be flaws in cartoons because they don't always exactly make sense. But whenever Tulip's living with them, because whenever she was getting delivered, there was an issue where the stork saw her and was like, oh, she's cute, I have to keep her. And the beacon that has like her map on it to where she has to go broke. So she kept a shard of it. And they make a big deal about these shards because that stork who got exiled kind of collected all the shards and just needed that last one to figure out the map. So the Storks kind of looked at her as like a nuisance all this time because they had to take care of her now that like they didn't know where she lived. And there's a scene where they changed the baby's location for that one they're currently trying to deliver. They changed the location so the Tulip and Junior are going to a different location now. If they were able to go into the system to change that one's location, why couldn't they look up where she was originally supposed to go and get her there?
Yeah.
So I was kind of confused about that. I mean, like I said, it's a cartoon, so you shouldn't really think too much into that.
Yeah, but the other thing, too, is Pixar movies make perfect sense. That's why they're so great.
Pixar movies are great.
All right, but what's your rating on this one? My
rating was 8 stars.
That's a lot.
Yeah, there was.
You liked it that much?
The ending was really nice because when they finally delivered the baby, you see the stork had like a connection with the baby. The Junior, he had like a connection with the baby, and when he goes to give it to that boy and his family at the end, he's like can't part with it. But when he's handing it over, he gets this. I guess you get like this as a stork. You get like a flash of seeing the rest of that baby's life.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so he saw that the baby went on to live this really great and happy life.
Was it sad?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was a little sad.
Yeah.
The music was really good with it, too, and I was like, oh, this is actually a really touching moment.
Was it tear-jerking or no?
It was tear-jerking.
Yeah? That's cool.
Dude, like I said, I had a really low expectation for this movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is just gonna be a goofy kids movie that they just put out to have money, just like Pets or whatever.
Yeah.
Pets. Secret Life of Pets was stupid.
Yeah, it wasn't that great.
No. 8 stars for this though.
That sounds like a good
The
flick.
ending payoff was
I'll have
great.
to check it out eventually. Alright, so then we're going to get into the Magnificent Seven. That's what we're going to...
Are we doing the Babadook next, and then we aren't doing Magnificent
That's
Seven?
not true at all. I don't want to
That's
waste
not
my
true
time
at
on-
all.
I think this might be a remake of something. I don't know. The synopsis of this film is 7 gunmen in the Old West gradually come together to help a poor village against savage thieves. Now, firstly, I never saw the original, so I have no idea if it was any good, but this movie really made me want to see it because I liked it so much, and I'm really curious like what was changed. My understanding from talking to someone that we work with is that this movie has Denzel obviously is black as one of them. There's a Mexican who's one of the 7, and there's also an Asian who's one of the 7.
Well, if they change the characters, how can you even stand to watch the movie?
I never saw the original, nor did I know what the characters were. So apparently, from what Rita's told me, they were all white in the original. I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Huh.
Yeah. Now there's the opening scene. The movie starts at a church where the town's gathered there because this asshole Bogue has basically taken over the town, and they're all gathered at the church because they're talking about getting they're trying to get something done to get rid of him. And Bogue ends up coming in, and he's being a real fucking dick and talking to everyone. And there's a alright.
Now you're confused.
You did confuse me.
I win.
Yeah.
I win.
So they're in the church talking about this asshole and what they want to try to get rid of him. And the one guy's rallying like, "Come on, we gotta do something to get rid of him." They're like, "But we're scared." So then Bogue ends up coming in, and he's a real asshole, and it was really well done. It was really suspenseful. Like it was just slowly and he building the suspense, and then he walks up and he's basically like, you guys are dicks. And you need to do what I say. And he's like, "Hey, come up here, kid." And he has this jar. And you can't see what's in the jar. And you're like, oh. And he's giving some speech about something. He's like, "Put your hand in the jar, kid." And you're like, oh, that's not... There's probably something bad in that jar. So the kid puts his hand in the jar.
Was it a clear jar?
What?
Was it clear?
No, as I specifically just said, it was not clear and you couldn't see in it. So the kid puts his hand in the jar and you're sitting there like, fuck, is there a scorpion in there? Like, what's going to happen? You're sitting there. And then he takes the kid's hands out and just dumps out. There's nothing in it. It was just dirt. There's you're sitting there, you're like, fuck, what's going to happen to this kid? And so it was really well done.
So there's good suspense.
There's a lot of suspense in that scene. And then the Bogue leaves the church and has all his guys fucking burn the church down. The guy that stands up to Bogue, he just fucking shoots him. And this is the guy that's trying to rally everyone, and he's talking to his wife about, she's with him. So they establish that he has his wife there with him. So you're already like, that's asshole just killed him right in front of his wife. And then they also kill a bunch of other townspeople, and they shoot a woman in the back. You're like, this guy's a fucking dick. You're instantly just like, all right, yeah, he's a dick. I hate him now. And I want him to get his comeuppance, and I hate him. So they really just nailed the open sequence. All right, fuck this guy, you hate him, you're supposed to hate him. They did a good job with that, establishing him as a villain and how much you're supposed to hate him. As soon as they introduced Chris Pratt's character, I loved him. I just wanted to fuck him. He was so great.
Yeah,
I love his character in the movie.
Chris Pratt's a cool dude.
He was really funny and just a badass, and they showed he's morally a really good guy. Denzel comes in this bar that he's in, and Denzel's a warrant officer or something, and he's gonna arrest this guy or kill this guy that has a warrant out for him, and someone's about to try and stop him, and Chris Pratt's like, no. Pulls his little gun out, and he's trying to help Denzel out. So they show he's a morally good guy. They establish, he's, like I said, he's funny, he's nice, and they establish he's a really good guy. So instantly you're like, I like this guy. I mean, Denzel was, I guess Denzel was the star of the movie, but Chris Pratt was up there too.
He got a lot of time.
Yeah, he got a lot of time.
Kind of shared the screen a lot.
Yeah. I mean, all 7 of them had a lot of time, but it was mostly Denzel followed by him.
Okay.
Denzel was great as usual. No surprise there. He's always great in everything he's in. He's always
Flight
good.
was such a good movie.
Which one?
Flight.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, John Goodman was good in that too.
Yeah, that was a good
John
flick.
Goodman's good in
Equalizer was really good too.
I did not see that
That was
one.
good. All the acting in the movie was really good. Let's see my next note. Hookers in the Old West were really hot, apparently. I was looking at every time they would go into a saloon or whatever, there's fucking hookers. I'm like, man, there's some hot sluts back then, apparently.
Really?
Apparently, I think they probably shouldn't have had teeth and looked gross, but apparently they were really hot. There were no
Chewing tobacco.
There were no Asians though.
No.
That was
it
that's where the sad face was that I mentioned next to there were no Asians.
Oh, so it wasn't really as gay as I told you it was going to be.
No.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was actually the opposite. I was sad because there wasn't women. There weren't Asian women. That's not gay at all. What were you just asking?
Is the
here we go. This is going to be a joke.
Is it comparable to the Wild West?
I don't fucking remember that movie.
As far as you don't,
Selma Hayek was apparently supposed to be a hooker, right?
I think so, something like that.
She was clearly really hot.
Yeah.
So I don't remember. All I remember is Will Smith and a giant spider and Selma Hayek.
You're thinking of Superman Lives.
I am. I'm thinking of the death of Superman Lives.
The death of Superman Lives.
Yeah.
Well, that was the name of the documentary. The actual movie is called Superman.
No, it's called Superman Returns. Superman Lives was the real movie that came out.
Superman Returns was the real movie that came
out. Oh, I got them backwards?
Yes.
Okay. And this isn't about Superman. This is about the Old West. So this is all about... a significant part of the movie is spent getting them together and introducing their characters, which I loved. They definitely took their time with it. I mean, it was a good 40 minutes of the movie, 45 minutes of the movie.
That's something that's definitely really important with these when
ensemble movies.
Yeah. You really have to make sure you get each character well explained.
Oh, they took their time with it, which I loved. Each character, they introduce them, and it's cool because as they keep introducing more characters, it joins the group, and then they go to get the next one. So even when they meet the new character, you're seeing interaction with that new group, and then they add another one, so there's more interaction. I really like that a lot.
Did anyone? You'll probably get there. I was going to ask, does anyone die in such a way that Slipknot died?
Who's Slipknot? Oh, no.
That's good. See,
what
not to do.
No one died before they finished introducing the characters in the first 45 minutes.
That's good.
That did not happen. There's a scene where they recruit Red Harvest, the Indian, that really confused me. They stop for the night in an area, and they kind of show hints that there's probably Indians close by. You see, Indian shit fucking on, rocks and just, hanging around.
They wiped their asses.
Yeah, there wasn't toilet paper, but, poo.
Oh, fuck, that would hurt.
Indian poo.
Poo on the rocks.
There's Indian stuff, so it kind of seems like Denzel had them stop there because he's trying to find them. But then it also seemed like they just came across them by accident because everyone pulls out their weapons. They all pull out their weapons on Red Harvest as Denzel's talking to them to try to recruit them. So I'm like, if he was trying to find them, why wouldn't he tell them that so they don't all fucking pull out their guns and try to kill them?
But then should have sent them a text or something.
Yeah, it was just confusing and should have. I mean, he could have. Why would he send them a text? He was right there talking.
Keep going with that. I didn't mean to be a full interruption. That was just
no. But why would he text them? He was next to them talking to them. Why wouldn't he just tell them, "Hey, we're gonna go meet Red Harvest"?
He's trying to be quiet,
so Red Harvest wouldn't hear.
When
you're in the same room with other people and you're texting and they don't know about it. That's a real pussy ass bitch thing to do.
Not whenever there's
texting about people that are in the room with you.
In the room.
That's not cool, dude. You shouldn't do that. But anyway, the scene, it was just really vague, and you couldn't really tell which way it was supposed to go if he knew about it or he didn't. Which, I mean, it's definitely me being a little nitpicky with it, but I don't know. I would have liked to have known that because after the scene, I'm like, well, wait, what? I don't know. But then after they all get together, there's a scene where all 7 of them go to the town because the guy's wife that died. I might have the name of the character here somewhere. Emma. The wife of the guy that died, she finds him. I think his name was... I'm going to call him Denzel in this movie.
Did I see Jennifer Lawrence in this movie?
No, you did not.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to call Denzel's character just Denzel because he was called Chiselm or something, and I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm just going to keep calling him Denzel.
Denzel's acceptable.
But she pays Denzel to get all this group of people. Well, she pays Denzel to try and stop this guy in their town. And he's like, well, I'm going to get a group of people to do it. So after they get all 7 of them together, they show up at the town. And the scene where they show up in the town to confront Bogue's men that are running it was so fucking well done. I'm sitting here watching this, I'm like, this is fucking awesome. There's a good at least 5 minutes of after they get into the town, Denzel walks up to the sheriff who's on their payroll. And then Bogue's men, and he's just he walks up with the Asian dude, and he's just talking to him, and he's pretending he's no one that's a threat. Slowly, you kind of see that they understand that he's a threat, and then they start threatening each other. The other 7 people start just showing up, so they're slowly building this shootout. The 7 people just start appearing in different places, and they all start coming out, and everyone's there, and they must have built the suspense for 5 or 10 minutes. It was just really fucking well done.
I was thinking, like, with Denzel's character, do they ever address the fact that he's black?
In the openings, in the first scene you see him when he first comes into the town, everyone's like, "Oh, what the fuck are you doing here?" Like, you can see that they're pissed that he's black and he's like a cowboy or whatever. But when he goes into the saloon and he gets the guy that he has a warrant for and basically shoots the place up and kills all the bad guys in the very beginning, after that, there's really no other mention of the fact that he's black. It's just kind of like no one really pays any mind to it.
That's okay.
Which,
at least it's acknowledged, though.
Yeah, it was. I liked that it was acknowledged, but I didn't really know how I felt. Well, I mean, you got to think too. Like the only people at that point, he's helping the one group of people. He's gonna save their lives. They're probably not like, "Fuck you, black man. I don't want your help."
That's true. That's really true.
And then the other group of people are the ones he's trying to kill, so they're gonna hate him regardless of what color he is at that point.
Right.
So, but yeah, the scene where they show up in the town is just so fucking well done. The suspense is building to the shootout while they're talking. It's so good. The shootout itself was just badass. It was just so fucking well done. I'm kind of just moving on from the scene pretty fast. I didn't have many notes on it because I was watching it. I was like so fucking into it. I'm not even like taking notes. I'm like, this is shit so good.
Are you a fan of westerns?
I hate westerns.
I also have like the only one I've ever like really watched and enjoyed was Django Unchained.
I like Django Unchained, and I like Back to the Future 3. That's about it. I don't like westerns. I steer clear of them. I'm just not a fan of them.
Yeah.
After the first shootout, I did notice that. I didn't notice, but I was surprised. I'm like, this movie's PG-13. It's so fucking violent.
Really?
Like, so many people are dying. So many people are getting shot. Dude, it is really violent, and a lot of people are fucking dying. I'm like, well, there's no titties, so I guess the MPA is cool with that. This country's stupid. It makes no sense. Yeah.
Tits or get the fuck out.
So they send the sheriff, as I mentioned, who's on Bogue's payroll, after they kill all of Bogue's men that are in the town, just his men that are in the town, mind you, not all of Bogue's men. He says like 20 of his men in the town running it. They kill all of them. They send the sheriff to Bogue with Denzel's terms, which is basically like, he tells him, he's like, hey, tell him I'm from somewhere in fucking Kansas. Tell him my name and tell him that he wants his town back. He better come here and take off of himself. He needs to come here. Bogue does. And the sheriff's like, tell him that. He's like, yeah. And the 7 guys are like, well, you sure he's going to come? He's like, yeah, he's going to come. So it's kind of established there's some sort of history between them. Uh-huh. But what I didn't understand was like, I have no idea why the sheriff decided to actually go to Bogue and give him the message. Because they send him on his way. Bogue is this fucking asshole killer. If you're the sheriff, you just lost the town. Are you really going to be like, hey, sorry, dude, please don't do anything? So he goes and he tells Bogue, delivers his message, and Bogue kills him. I'm like, there's a shocker. Why the fuck would you even go there? Why wouldn't you just run away and hope for the best?
What if Bogue would have been like, all right, we'll leave, and he goes away?
What do you mean Bogue just doesn't go to the town?
Yeah, well, what if he told him like tell Bogue to leave, and then he was just like, okay, we'll leave.
Oh, you mean Denzel changed the message? He's like, go somewhere else. And he's like, all right.
Yeah, what if that would be a good story.
There's a reason why he wanted Bogue to come to the town. There were personal reasons for that, which I'll get into later.
Ooh. Later. So
yeah.
Like how much longer?
Oh, yours was about 20 minutes for Storks, so...
Storks was a good movie.
It was a good movie.
Better whatever you guys are.
I doubt that very much. Oh my god, I'm already done with 2 pages of this. Alright, so Bogue brings like a couple hundred guys to come and take the town back, which leads to the big action sequence in the end, the long action shootout sequence at the end. What are you doing? I'm the one that's holding this up. Give it to me.
Can I talk now?
What? What do you want?
No, we'll go.
What do you want?
I don't know, it's just funny to see you get mad.
That's good. I'll keep that in mind.
Oh, no.
Okay, I am going to make your comic reviews such hell from now on.
No.
I've been being so nice.
No.
I've been being so nice in your comic reviews, Gable.
I haven't done anything bad yet.
You just said it's so fun to make me mad, and you just made me mad.
One time.
That's all it took, was the one.
You've still interrupted me during the comic reviews.
Yes, but mine were all related to your comic review. Did you notice that? That every single interruption was a question about your comic? Did you notice that? You didn't, did you? Every
noticed anything.
single question was about your comic.
Dave is better than me. Dave is great.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm just messing with you.
Oh.
I mean, that's true, though. Every question, I made sure in my mind with each question that it was about your comic.
What about the question about the kombucha?
What are you talking about?
Never mind.
What are you talking about?
We're getting off topic again.
What are you talking about? Kombucha?
Westerns.
What's a kombucha?
You like
What are you
Westerns.
talking about?
You like westerns.
I hate Westerns.
You don't like westerns.
What's a kombucha? What are you talking about?
I think it's tea or something. Let's keep going.
I didn't mention kombucha.
That's what we're going now.
Well, then why'd you say it?
To move on.
How'd that move on whenever you brought up something I'm going to ask you about? What are you
Because
talking
you're
about?
dwelling around it now.
Well, then why'd you bring it up if you're trying to move on if I was going to dwell on it?
Yes.
Not making any sense.
Coca-Cola.
Okay. So Babadook brings like a couple hundred guys to come take the town back. There's this insanely long action shootout sequence at the end, which was just fucking spectacular. I mean, it was probably like at least a half hour long. Like the whole end fucking sequence. It was a really long sequence. It was fucking great. This movie is the complete polar opposite of a Paul Greengrass movie or a Rob Zombie movie.
Dude, Paul Greengrass is great.
Dude, I'm watching this movie and like I can see everything that's happening perfectly. It's just so fucking well shot.
Okay.
Anton Fuqua, I think, has done some Denzel Washington movies in the past.
Is he the guy who directed this?
Yeah. And he deserves props for not being a shitty director because he did a great job. Great fucking job.
We'll tweet him. Thanks for not being a shitty
Thanks
director.
for not being terrible. All right.
What's his name?
Anton Fuqua.
Anton Yelkin.
Anton Yelkin. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and wait while you send this tweet.
You don't have to wait. I'm still listening.
No, we're going to wait. We're going to go ahead and watch you send this tweet.
How do you spell his last name?
Fuqua. Tweeting.
Anton, A-N-T-O-N?
Antoine. Sending a tweet here. What's happening?
I need to find his Twitter. Antoine Fuqua.
Antoine Fuqua. This is riveting right here.
Dude, I don't think he has a Twitter.
I mean, he might not. Not everyone in the world does.
But if you're a celebrity, wouldn't you? Wait. Fuqua Films.
Is that him?
I think this is him.
Is it verified?
No.
It's probably not him.
Okay. None of these are verified.
Oh.
None of them.
Maybe he doesn't have a Twitter. He's just a lowly director.
What do I do now?
I don't know.
If I can't tweet at him, who do I tweet at?
I don't know. That's 2 minutes wasted on this.
You're the one who stopped.
You're the one who's tweeting Anton Fuqua.
I'm not, because he doesn't even have a Twitter.
Okay.
Alright, let's start a petition. Hashtag at Anton Fuqua.
Let's not do that. No one cares.
You can't hashtag and at something, Dave.
Yeah, you can.
You can type in the word at, I
Have
guess.
you ever tried it?
Yes.
What happens?
It just does at Anton Fuqua.
Oh, you can't do the hashtag first?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Unless they've changed it recently.
That's dumb. Alright, what are we doing here?
He did a good job, though.
What's that?
From what it sounds like, he did a good job.
It does sound like he did a good
He
job.
deserves a pat on the back from
deserve-
Breakroom Bullshit.
I'm sure he gets plenty of pats on the back.
If you saw a tweet from Breakroom Bullshit, don't you think his day would be made? Like he'd just be sitting there like, I can't believe Breakroom Bullshit told me.
Absolutely
there.
not. Absolutely not.
Oh.
He doesn't care about us.
Well, in the end, it doesn't even matter.
It really doesn't.
Nothing matters.
So let's finish this review here.
Yeah.
This is pretty much towards the end of the movie. Chris Pratt's character had one of the greatest deaths ever in film.
Oh boy.
Ever.
I wasn't prepared for that. You really caught me off guard there.
What?
His death.
Yeah, he dies.
Yeah, there's spoilers. Spoilers!
Yeah, there's a shocker.
There's the spoiler alert.
So, I loved it so fucking much. So, basically what happens is they have a Gatling gun with a bunch of guys near it, okay? And Pratt just goes right for them. It's basically like a suicide run. There's this wide open area. He's really far away, and he's on his horse. He starts riding towards me. He's just shooting at them. So as he's riding towards him, he gets shot. And he falls off the back of the horse and lands on the ground. So he gets up and starts walking closer, gets shot again, and falls down again. He gets back up like 2 more times, and he gets shot again, and he's just crawling, like slowly crawling over. He's kind of like close to this point. He's crawling and crawling. He finally gets next to them, and I'm just like, "Fuck, this sucks." Chris Pratt's dying.
I would be done.
I'm like getting so bummed. I'm like, his character's so great, and he's just fucking going like a fucking hero. He's just crawling over to him as he's dying and trying to get there. So he's right in front of him. They're just looking at him, and one guy even's like, "Just stay down." And he's barely alive, and he's kind of kneeling down. He's on his knees. He's kneeling there, just like fucking out. And he reaches like in his pocket and pulls out something. They're about to shoot him. He pulls out a cigarette, and he puts the cigarette in his mouth. And one guy's about to shoot him, and the guy that's kind of like in charge of their group, not Bogue, but one of his main guys is in charge of the group with the Gatling gun. He's like, no. He tells the guy not to shoot him. And Pratt's like, he's like fucking out of it. He gets his just like a match on, tries to light the match, but it breaks and he can't do it. And the main guy like walks over and just fucking lights the cigarette for him as he's kneeling there. And he's kneeling there and he lights the cigarette for him. And the guy pulls out his gun like he's going to shoot him now. Mm-hmm. And Chris Pratt just kind of like fucking just falls forward and just is like slunched over and just falls forward and just like dies and just falls forward and land there. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so bad. So he's just laying and the guy starts to back away and they show his body and he slowly fucking starts like lifting up a little bit and you see he's holding a fucking stick of dynamite he lit with his cigarette.
Oh,
and fucking just has a smile on his face and just fucking blows them all up, including himself, and just fucking dies.
Oh,
dude, it was. I went, dude.
Chris Pratt's a terrorist.
It was the greatest. Like I went from like almost in tears when he's gonna die to like fucking like cheering when he killed them all. I was like, fuck yeah, dude! It was so well done.
I can't wait to watch.
Like, dude, it was so fucking well. You're gonna be so surprised by it when you see that part. Not knowing what's gonna happen.
I have no idea how this ends.
Dude, it was just a great fucking scene. Like that, the movie, I already had an idea in my mind of what I was going to rate it. It went up a point, like, just from that scene. Like, I was like, alright, now it's going up 1 point just from that scene because it was so good.
Wow.
So Hogue obviously ends up dying, which was super satisfying. And especially you find out that Denzel confronts him, and it's really fucking funny because Denzel, like, they're going to have a fucking standoff or whatever. They both pulling their guns.
Some fisticuffs.
No, just with guns.
Oh, just the guns.
They're gonna have a quick draw? What the fuck is it called? We're in a shootout?
It is the official term for it is.
Okay, shut the fuck up. So they're both gonna pull their guns out, and you're like, all right, so this is the big finale. And Denzel just pulls his gun out and shoots him in his hand, and his gun's down. You're like, all right, well that was easy. And then he's like, pick it up. And he's like, pick it up. So he goes to pick it up and just like fucking shoots him in his hand. I'm like, this is great. And then he's like, get up, and he shoots him in the leg. And I'm like, this is awesome. Like Denzel's just toying with him as he's fucking like getting there. So Denzel crawls into the church, or not Denzel. I'm sorry. Bo crawls into the church, and Denzel goes over to him, and he's like, I want you to pray. I want you to pray with me. Come on. He's like, pray for my mom that you raped. Pray for my 2 sisters that you murdered. And apparently, this town that he mentioned where he was, Bo came and took the town, and their men like fucking killed everyone, and they raped and murdered Denzel's like mom and his sisters. That's why he like wanted the guy to come, because he was trying to get revenge on him too.
Plot twist.
Yeah, and right when he's about to kill him, the guy like has a fucking little gun that you don't see him pull out, and Denzel doesn't see it either. He pulls out, he's about to shoot Denzel, and the wife like just shoots the guy and kills him. So it was a really satisfying ending, and 4 of the 7 main characters died.
4? Of
the Magnificent 7, 4 of them die.
So the next one's going to be like the Fantastic.
The triple threat. Yeah. Which I thought was awesome because it made it... Because I'm sitting here watching it as it's happening. Before anyone dies, I'm like... All these townspeople are dying because they had the townspeople helping them too. And I'm like, it's going to be silly when all these townspeople die and the 7 guys are still standing. But it made it a lot more realistic that 4 of them died, which was cool.
Yeah.
And since you spent the first 45 minutes of the movie just like becoming emotionally invested in it, it made it even better that they died.
Later that they die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whenever Chris Pratt first got shot off the horse, I'm like, what? No!
Someone needs to send this to Warner Brothers. Be like, this is how you make an ensemble.
Seriously, movie. It was great. And the movie had the perfect amount of comedy in it. It was really fucking funny. Did not pull an Iron Man 3 where it was just fucking shit and tried to be too funny. Mm-hmm. The whole movie was just really fucking well written. Everything about it was great. The writing was awesome. It was just great across the board. Very well done. It gets a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10? Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's really high, especially coming from me. That's
for a Western, too.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm buying it the moment it comes out on Blu-ray so I can watch it again.
It
was really good. Oh, yeah, it's a shelf it. It was really fucking good. Really good. All right, so we spent 40 minutes on Storks and Magnificent Seven.
Nothing left now.
Nothing left but the Babadook.
The Babadook.
The Babadook. We're going to sprint through this review.
Wasn't that a very good movie?
The Babadook?
The Babadook.
I thought it was alright.
It was the extra alright.
A single mother plagued by the violent death of her husband battles with her son's fear of a monster lurking in the house, but soon discovers a sinister presence all around her. When the movie first starts, she's telling that story about the three little pigs. And the kid, he goes, I'm going to bash the wolf's head in. I'm going to bash the wolf's head in. I'm like, it's a little Jack Torrance.
Who's that?
I'm going to bash it right the fuck in.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I started laughing.
I didn't recognize the last name.
And I'm like, this kid is really violent. Like, he wants to bash this wolf's head in.
Dude, that kid was so fucking annoying throughout the film.
Dude, I thought he was funny in certain parts.
wanted to punch him in the fucking face.
Really?
Oh my god, he was annoying.
He was a little asshole.
Yeah.
Using the fucking catapult in the house in the beginning.
Yeah.
I'd have whooped his fucking ass.
I was annoyed as hell.
Really?
All hell whenever he came on the screen.
Yeah, she should have beat his ass. Maybe he wouldn't be such a violent little asshole.
Maybe.
She didn't discipline him.
Yeah.
He uses a catapult and she's like, stop it.
Speaking of like her disciplining him, like she clearly knows he has issues, but there's a point in the movie where she's like, where did you get fireworks from? He's like, you
ordered them off the internet.
I'm like, why?
She's a terrible parent.
Why are you like so mad at this kid if you're clearly the reason that he's fucked up?
Okay, I don't know if you remember this part, but it's very close to the beginning where he hugs her. I think it's before they go to school. He's hugging her and he's like, and she said, don't do that, and got mad. Like, he's hugging her and he's like, and she's like, don't do that. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Maybe he's just throwing like a
did he try to fuck her or something? Like, it was weird.
Yeah, dude, this...
And I even rewound it. I'm like, why did she just get mad? What did he do?
There's a lot of weird stuff in this movie. It was very good at, like... There would be social situations throughout the movie that just made you feel really uncomfortable with, like, her and the boy being, like, with, I just said the boy.
Oh, boy.
I just said the boy.
Don't call him the boy.
Don't call him the boy.
Don't call him the boy. His name's Sam.
There's certain moments where, like, she'll, like, be having an uncomfortable social interaction with someone, and I would cringe. I don't want to watch, like... That's something I have trouble watching is uncomfortable social situations.
Yeah, I think they're fun. I like being in those.
I don't like.
I hate them.
I do not like when that happens.
I mentioned this to you, but I thought it was cool that the Babadook is an anagram for a bad book. That's kind of cool.
An anagram?
Yeah. Where it's this spell. They took the words a bad book and changed the spelling to spell Babadook.
Oh.
That's kind of cool.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's a cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Trivia fact there.
I thought the book in the movie was cool looking, like it was really creepy and whatnot, like when she was looking at the actual book.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why the fuck would she read this to her kid?
Dude, I was really creeped out when later, after she tore up the book, it reappeared.
Shut up, yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice little touch they did on that.
Like, dude, the kid's fucked up in the head. Why are you reading this like horrible, fucking, scary, horrifying book? Like, it's not.
She didn't realize she was just letting him pick a book, and she started reading it, and she was like. Not reading out loud because she realized it was starting to get really creepy.
Well, that's it. Did they buy the book or did it just appear there and she not realize it?
It probably just appeared
that's
there. Weird. Being that it just magically appeared at the doorstep, I would assume it magically appeared in their bookshelf as well.
The one scene I thought was really funny when she whipped out the vibrator. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
This is a pleasant surprise. It's going to get good.
She's really enjoying herself.
But dude, Finch got mad because I pulled my dick out and started jerking off in the living room. He left the room though. He seemed a little irritated. He just like left and went to his room.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. It doesn't make... I mean, it makes sense to have the scene though. She's a single mom. You know what I mean? Like, she's not getting out. Got to take care of business. Yeah.
That was a big focus on this movie.
He's one of my
lack of
love
love
life.
What? That was a big focus in the movie. Her lack of love life.
Dude,
her husband died or something.
How about whenever like her aunt's watching Sam and like she shows up and Sam's just, I guess like sitting outside in the fucking driveway just because he was telling his cousin about the Babadook. I'm like, the aunt really overreacted. Like all I did was keep telling her. I'm like, dude. Kids fucking see imaginary monsters. That's what happens. The doctor even says later, kids see monsters all the time. That's just how it is. And the aunt's like, "Friggin', you need to get him help." I'm like, she's really fucking overreacting. That was annoying.
Yeah.
I was really pumped when he pushed his cousin out the treehouse.
Oh my god!
Dude, I was like, fuck yeah!
It was one of those uncomfortable moments where I was like, "That's."
I
really
loved
crazy.
it, dude.
I can't believe.
As soon as he pushed her out there, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And then she fucking smacked her face and was bleeding.
Fuck
Oh, it was great, dude. I loved it.
Did he yell America before?
She was a little bitch, dude.
Yeah, I thought Australian people were very polite, so it turns out they aren't.
So they were supposed to be Australian.
I know the movie is.
I know that too, but they did not sound like they had Australian accents when I watched it.
It sounded foreign to me.
Yeah, I thought they sounded like British.
I wrote British at first, but then
yeah, that's what it sounded. I said it sounded British.
I was like, well, this is an Australian movie, and
I think it was British. I think they had British accents. Dude, when the door opened in the bedroom after Amelia's hearing the scratching noises, I thought that was really freaky. I was not expecting him to actually walk in the room like that. When the door opens and she's laying in the bed and she looks and sees him and he just like, the Babadook just walks in the room.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that to happen, but...
I wasn't too impressed visually with the Babadook.
Dude, my next note is like, I liked the claws. I wasn't a big fan of how he looked. I liked the claws, but he just looked like a fucking skinny dude in a trench coat and a top hat.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be like this fucking big monster or something. Like.
Yeah, I was hoping to see like something a little more like, I don't know, creepier. It just seemed like it was like, I mean, it was literally just like quick shots of him getting closer and closer, like pictures of him getting closer. But I don't know, it just wasn't really scary. The movement of it, of him wasn't scary.
Yeah. I laughed. I don't know. I thought there were parts where that kid was funny. Like whenever the community services people get there and they're like, "What's wrong?" And he's tired, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm tired from the drugs my mom's been giving me."
Yeah.
And they're just like, "Excuse me."
Yeah, I guess he did say a few like really like kids say.
He had a few zingers.
Kids say the darndest things type moments.
And one thing I thought that really made me not like this movie as much as I thought was like, I get that the Babadook is like being inside her or whatever is the reason she starts being such a bitch to him, but I still fucking hated her. Like whenever she was just like she's like just starts being an asshole towards him.
Wait, so the Babadook was inside her the whole time?
No, like whenever she gets the
whenever
book
she
back,
like super
she starts reading and it says like let me in. I'm like, all right, clearly he's saying. He's like you'll see what's under your skin. I'm like, all right, clearly they're saying he's going to be inside of her. I got that as soon as I read it when the book came back.
He's going to be inside of her.
Yeah, it's like the vibrator. But yeah, so I mean, it's inside of her.
Dude, the Babadook was in the vibrator the whole time.
That's how he got in.
That's how he got in?
That's how she let him in. But I mean, I just thought it was dumb. Like, is she too dumb to realize what's going on? That this thing inside of her is like influencing her? Like, and at a certain point, I was like, well, maybe she just doesn't realize it because it's controlling her or something.
Yeah.
But then later in the movie, she just like decides to fight it off and not let it be inside her anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, the whole like thing with the Babadook being inside of her and just making her a fucking cunt just trying to kill her kid. I was like, this is just dumb.
Yeah.
I didn't like that aspect of it at all.
I didn't like the kid's actual acting. Like, I don't know, it just seemed like he was like before the all the scenes he was in, the like director would be like, okay, go say this, and he'd say it. But like, I don't know, I just wasn't really.
I didn't have a problem with it.
I wasn't really feeling him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't really feeling.
Dude, the highlight of the movie is when he put the catapult on and fucking hit her in the head with a fucking apple or whatever. You remember that?
Yeah.
When he did that, I started laughing my ass off. She was like, ow.
Dude, I did think it was funny whenever she got to the school and like they just like set the fucking crossbow, the homemade crossbow on the desk.
Yeah.
I'm like, how the fuck did he learn to make that?
Kids shoot the darndest thing. I did like whenever he was like, you can't get rid of the Babadook, and it pulled him up the stairs. I thought that was cool. Like him just being like pulled up the stairs by the invisible. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But dude, the part where the Babadook's coming out of the dark at the end, I thought was really dumb. She's just up in his room, he's coming out of the dark, she's just like fucking yelling at him, like screaming at him, "Mama, fuck you, I'll fucking kill you if you touch my fucking kid." And like, it went on for like 5 fucking minutes of her just yelling, and I'm like, this is stupid.
She was a really good actress.
She was good.
She was good. The kid,
but that whole scene was just like, it was loud, and like, dude, she was like, my neighbors were like throwing rocks at me, like, keep it down in there. And I'm like, it's not my fault, it's the Babadook making her yell. I was like, it was, I don't know, I thought that was a little dumb.
Yeah, dude, there were some, I don't know how familiar you are with Power Rangers.
Okay.
But there's this dinosaur noise that kept happening in the movie, and I was like, this sounds like an exact sound.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dude, did that not sound like it was from that?
Yeah, I know.
Do you think it was the exact thing from that?
I don't know if it was the exact thing, but I was like, that is clearly a soundbite that was taken from something else and put in here.
Dude, that was like the fucking Power Rangers noise. I'm like, I know this sound. I grew
like
up
a
on this
shrieking,
sound.
yelling TX.
It was like a pterodactyl yelling or something.
Yeah. At the end, when she told him to go outside and don't come in until she told him to, I was like, hoping she's gonna pull out like a big black dildo and start going at it or something again.
Called the woolly mammoth and then the Power Ranger noise.
The woolly mammoth is the name of the big black dildo.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a weird name for a dildo.
The woolly mammoth.
That's a really weird name for a dildo.
Black Ranger.
That's racist.
Is that a better? That's the color of the dildo.
You're racist.
Well, how is that racist?
I mean, it's not an African American dildo. It's just the color black.
And so is the Ranger.
No, you're saying the African American Ranger.
He's both black and black.
See, you're racist. It's African American is the proper nomenclature. I watched Big Lebowski last night.
Oh, fuck.
Asian American is the preferred nomenclature.
Such a good movie. I don't roll on Shabbos.
And I don't get at the very end why they have the Babadook in the basement like a pet.
Dude, that was... Dude. That my ranking probably went down too because I'm like, this is the goofiest fucking thing ever.
Why is it trapped there?
They're feeding it a bowl of worms.
I'm like, what's keeping it there? Why doesn't it just leave? Why did she feed it? And then why don't you sneak up on it and cut its dick off or something when it's not looking and kill it?
Just
like, I don't understand.
Dynamite the basement.
I was like, why is this even happening?
Why like everything just magically became okay at the end?
None of it made any sense.
Do you think the Babadook actually killed her or she was in some sort of heaven?
No.
Okay.
That was a really stupid thing you just said.
I was trying to justify the movie in some way.
Don't be an asshole.
Let's not justify things. We'll
You're
just
being
tear
an
them
asshole.
down.
The movie started great, and I thought they had a great idea with the Babadook, but I felt like halfway through it was just like started going downhill. And I was just like, yeah, it's getting lame.
Especially whenever we had the Rover the Babadook, pet Babadook on a leash.
That was fucking dumb, dude. I was like, this doesn't make any sense.
They fed it a bowl of worms.
It's got to eat something.
I guess, but why worms?
I don't know. I didn't even. What are you gonna feed the Babadook?
Nothing. I'm just gonna let it starve to death because it's a fucking Babadook.
Were they implying that if they don't feed it and keep it happy, it'll just come do something? Because, well, I mean, what's keeping it there in the? I don't know.
I think it has something to do with age because she said he can't see it until he's older. Remember?
I guess that doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
You're not making any sense, Gable.
It doesn't. How many stars did you give it?
How many did you give it?
5.
That's what I gave it. 5.
5.
Yeah, I gave it 5. I was thinking about lowering it based on yours though. If yours was lower, I might lower mine. But
yeah,
no, I gave it a 5.
I was being like I said, like we said, it was like there were like good concepts about the movie. It just fell apart.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well that's all our movie reviews. We're gonna take a break and we're gonna finish up with some top 5. And we're gonna. That's what. What are you doing?
Getting ready for the top 5.
We'll have to take a break first.
You could have hit the button by now and we could have been there.
You could shut up.
Take me there.
I want to go there. No. Is it? What? What? Here we are.
Here we are again on the podcast.
Okay, so during this segment, I'm going to be jerking off to Alexa Bliss while Gable speaks.
And go. All right.
Fat. Is that jerking off?
Wait, so whose list goes first?
Okay.
This is more important. That's the question.
Well, first of all, it's top 5 TV shows that are non-comedy.
Non-comedy.
Yeah.
So like dramas.
We got one fan list that we're going to mention after ours, and I'm sure it's going to be a shocker.
List for the fans.
Yeah, any fans that want to submit their... Okay, anyway. Okay, so... You looked at my list, didn't you?
I did not.
Okay. Now, this is the top 5 TV shows that are non-comedy. Who's going first?
I looked at your list.
I hate you. Why'd you do that?
I looked at it. I didn't read it, though.
Oh, cool. I don't know what you did. I just looked at yours without reading it.
So start at 5, right?
You go with your number 5 and go.
Dexter.
That's a good one.
I
can't argue with Dexter.
Dexter made me really happy.
You speak about Dexter.
I got real... What?
You speak about Dexter, go.
Oh, I'm allowed?
Yes, I Can I please?
Okay, so Dexter was like really fucking good the first like
until season 8. No, I thought it was
6.
great past that.
I don't think season 8 exists. I think it
There's
starts
8
at 7.
seasons.
8 was the last one.
There's got to be 8 seasons of that show.
You
talk about.
I think it was the first 5 seasons that were good. Whatever the season where Deb found out
that he is a killer. That's when it started sucking.
Downhill.
It's really universal that everyone thinks
Dude, it
that.
should have ended. Like that should have been the ending season. Do you agree?
Yes, there's 9 seasons, Gable.
Really?
Yes, 8 is when it started sucking.
Felt like less.
Yeah. No, there's 8. I'm sorry, 8, not 9. 8.
8. See,
yeah.
I was right.
You said 6.
I didn't say 6.
You said up to the 5th season. I think there was 6, and then I said
because
8.
I knew there were at least 2 bad seasons, and I knew there were about 5.
Okay, so you're gonna say 7, yeah.
I was gonna say 7, but then I changed it to 8.
Yeah, dude. The first season of Dexter is one of my favorite seasons of a television show ever.
It hooked me.
And dude, the fucking with the Trinity kill with John Lithgow. Oh
amazing,
my god,
amazing story arc.
Yeah, no arguments here, son.
Yeah, absolutely.
Number 5 from Dave, Tales from the Crypt. Have you ever seen Tales from the Crypt?
I've heard of it.
It is amazing.
This doesn't make me feel so bad about my number 4. Talk about Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt. It's a horror show.
This is your number 5.
Number 5. Each episode is its own contained story. Like it's a horror story. Each episode has different stories. Dude, some of the stories are just so fucking great. Like I remember some of them to this day. They're like the greatest things ever. One specific example is there's an episode where a magician, this guy gets talking to some experiment
Is this like Goosebumps for adults?
Cat. Yeah, kinda.
Okay.
This is from like the 80s. It's back there. This guy gets talking doing an experiment with a cat, and basically what happens is he finds out that he gets 9 lives like a cat does, okay? This guy does an experiment with him and the cat dies and he gets 9 lives. So he's like, well, I'm going to exploit this. So he starts going on like the fucking road and like doing shows for this carnival, and he's like a magician and he actually dies. So they look fucking real, and he's making more and more and more and more money. So it gets to the end of the show, and he's going to do his last big one, because this is his last extra life. After this one, he doesn't have any more lives. So he's going to do his last big show, he's going to make all this fucking money, and he's going to get buried alive. And the whole episode's being told as he's being buried. He's in the coffin. So at the end of the episode, he's sitting there and he's reflecting on all the different tricks he did. He's like, yeah, this one, I died, then I died this one. And he's like, oh, but that poor cat, I guess that poor cat had to lose its life for me. He's like, wait a minute. The cat died. I don't have an extra life. That was one of them. And he realized that he'd had no more, and he killed himself by being buried alive. It was fucking cool. Yeah, there's a bunch of episodes like that. They're just really cool.
Yeah, it sounds goosebumpsy.
Yeah, it's just great. It's a great. I love horror. So
yeah,
it's a great show.
Absolutely, dude. That kind of a not show related story, but it's common. It's a common joke with Dave that I have a cat that is suicidal.
Yeah, he's very depressed.
Yeah, so in my new apartment, there's a balcony.
Your cat killed himself?
No.
What's his name, Gyro?
No, Roscoe.
Roscoe, that was close.
So my neighbor's balconies are like attached to ours, and he gets curious and he'll jump up on the ledge.
Like a cat?
We're on the 3rd story. I don't know if that's really high for a cat or not, but he'll jump up on the ledge, and I'm like, I can't
crazy
go.
bastard.
What if I go to grab him and he jumps? Or like, so I just have to hope he comes back in like on his own free will and doesn't jump sometimes.
Dude, he's curious like a cat.
Dude, it terrifies me.
That's kind of.
But he'll like jump up on there and walk over to the neighbor's deck, and I'm like, I can't go over to get him. What if I fall?
I mean, but at least you'll be helping your cat.
That's true. But then, what if my neighbor sees me on their deck and just like calls the police on me because I'm on their deck?
Now, if you fell from like a 10th story building, would you scream like a bitch the whole way, or try to wave and say hi to each neighbor on each level?
I probably wouldn't even like think of that. I'd just scream.
I try to pull my dick out and show everyone as I fall. That's
impressive. That'd be some impressive work there.
All right, what's your number 4?
My number 4. This is the one that I'm afraid you're gonna judge me for. It is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
You're a fucking jackass.
I know.
How the fuck would I judge you for that? You love that show.
I know, but it's like a kid's show. That's why. Then again, one of my other ones is a kid's show, but at the same time, like it's such like a goofy show. But like at the same time, whenever I was a kid, giant robots fighting giant monsters. What can't you love about that as a kid? And then whenever I grew up and saw the other year Pacific Rim.
The other year?
It came out a few years ago.
Yeah, the other
Whenever I saw Pacific Rim for the first time, my mind was fucking just blown. And Pacific Rim is one of my all-time
That's when you
favorite
realize
movies.
you truly never grew up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Touching story.
I can't follow you for that. The original Power Rangers, I like the show. I watched
Mighty
it.
Morphin Power Rangers was
Yeah,
great.
I watched it all the time.
Even some of the other ones, like the spin-offs they did. In Space is probably my second favorite one. They had a lot of good villains on there and a lot of good Zords. The big giant fighting Zords is what made each series good for me or not.
If you say
That's
so.
what made it make or break each.
Make or breaky.
Made the series make or break.
There are some new Power Rangers posters apparently with the Zords, I hear.
Yeah, I think they're just Comic-Con ones.
My number
You
4.
can get a Comic-Con.
My number 4 is Entourage.
How are we gonna get me to Comic-Con?
I don't care.
Entourage.
Entourage. I fucking love.
You like Entourage?
Dude, up until this is another sort of a Dextery issue, but the reason this one stayed on my list is because there were 8 seasons of the show. The 7th season I fucking hated. Whenever they basically all were like apart doing their own thing, and fucking the main dude's a drug addict. I'm like, this is fucking dumb. But then the 8th season, it got really good again.
What's that guy's name?
I kept trying to fucking remember.
Jeremy Piven?
No, he's the agent.
Okay.
Yeah, he plays the agent, but yeah, but the 8th season no.
I know one of them is named Turtle.
You do, but the 8th season it got really fucking good again. So that's why I was like, all right, I love the show again. The movie was fucking awesome. I love the movie, which is not the show, but
yeah. So you like that movie? Was that like a good tribute
I
to fans?
fucking love that movie.
Not tribute, but a good.
No, I thought it was great. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Cool.
Yeah, that's my number 4. What's your number 3?
Sons of Anarchy.
No one cares.
Yeah, I agree. Sons of Anarchy was a really good show for me. I had
it's not even good.
The entire series, I didn't have an issue with the entire series. The ending of the series, though, I was like,
you can't fault the whole show for just one episode, though.
Here's the thing, though. The ending of the show, I was like, that's an okay ending, I guess. But then I recently went back and watched the first season again, and it re-delivered to me the message of what...
It's more meaningful.
What his father was trying to get across to him. Because, spoiler alerts, this is the end of Sons of Anarchy. Jax, the main character, kills himself the way that he found out his father killed himself. And when I went back and watched the first season, the entire whole purpose was Jax finds this secret diary that his father kept and didn't want his kid to get wrapped up into it and go down the same path he did. So seeing him go down that path and end up having the exact same fate of his father was a little more meaningful once
Did he
you
drive
watched
into a
it
wall?
again. He drove into a semi-truck. The guy who was trying to murder him thought, like, he only let one guy work on his bike, and I guess somebody else worked on it that day or something, and they fucked with it so that he would die, and he knew that it was gonna get fucked with. So it's some consequence of what he was. I don't know if I'm remembering this 100% accurate, but I know some consequence of him dying would have resulted in the betterment of the lives of the people involved in the club.
You suck.
Yeah.
No, you explained it well. I understood.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say you suck like Stewie does.
But yeah, it was a really good show. I liked a lot.
I hear a lot of people like it.
Charlie Hunnam was a good actor. He's a better TV actor than he is movie actor.
Yeah.
Movies, like, I'll admit for Pacific Rim, a little bit of his acting could kind of take you out of it, but...
That's a shame.
Well,
Oh.
I still like him as an actor.
The Pacific Rim wasn't good, though, what you're saying.
I love it.
Okay.
So much.
Number 3, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. It's shocking a Star Trek
Deep
show
Space
made
3.
my list. Deep Space, okay, I've seen the show, I've probably watched the whole series through 2 or 3 times at least.
Really?
All 7 seasons, yeah.
That's impressive.
The show's fucking amazing.
It's hard for me to get through.
I really love it.
To want to go back and rewatch a show.
I fucking love that show. It's Star Trek. I love Star Trek. I love that show. All right, next. Number 2.
It's okay for us to do shows that haven't ended yet, right?
No.
Really?
Really.
That's a shame.
So your list is not done?
That's correct.
That's too bad. Now what do we do?
Wait, are you being serious?
Yeah. You already asked me that in person last week and I told you that.
I did not.
You did.
Are you messing with me?
No! I'm messing with you.
No, fuck, I felt really bad. I was like, I did this all wrong.
Okay, what's your number 2?
I already fuck up enough as it is, Dave.
That ain't that the truth.
Yeah, it is.
Deadpool rules.
Yeah. What?
Deadpool.
Oh yeah, that's my cup. My number 2, Walking Dead.
Oh!
Yeah, I really like The Walking Dead. A good horror show mixed with a good lot of character plot and development to
I just
it.
read an article about Walking Dead where the creator was talking about how he wants it. They were talking about how long it would last, and he said he wants it to last like Star Trek. He wants it to like be a thing where it just keeps going. Maybe a new show will start, and that'll be like Star Trek's been going on for like 50 years. He wants it to last like forever.
I'd be okay with that. As long
I hear
as
the new show sucks though.
Star Trek.
Fear the Walking Dead.
Dude, I watched the first season of that, and I was like, "This is shit."
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's the actors they have in it. The actors, and I also don't like the writing of where like all the stories going. You know, the show is just shit.
Well, let's not talk about the worst shows. Let's talk about The Walking Dead.
Yeah. Walking Dead, really good show. Based off obviously a comic, which I took up reading after watching The Walking Dead. I did not read the comic first. The comic or the show? The show I'm all caught up with. I think that it is the 6th season they just finished. The comic I'm not caught up with, but as far as where the show's at, I'm probably a season's worth. No, because I know some of the stuff that they're advertising for next season, and I haven't read that yet. I'm probably about a few episodes into the next season's worth.
Okay.
But I'm past where they're at in the show. It's a really, really fun comic to read, and it's also a really, really
I
cool
need
show.
to. I have every season they put out. I just haven't watched it yet. I need to start watching it.
You told me.
Okay.
I can't wait that. You have 6th one? That one came out already, right?
Yes.
Oh, because that just came out recently, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck me.
Fuck. Dude, I really want to talk to you about how the last season ended, and I can't.
Alright, what is it? My number 2?
Oh, fuck.
We on my number 2 now?
Dude, this is the way the last season ended is probably one of the most talked about fucking season finales ever.
That's great. Moving on. My number 2. My number 2 and number 1, I fucking sat the whole time I did this list, I kept looking at them like, I don't know which one to make number 1 and number 2. I kept fucking switching them over and over. Number 2 is The X-Files.
X-Files?
The X-Files number 2. I've told people X-Files is my favorite show. It's my favorite show ever of all time.
Did you ever look into reading those comics where it like takes place?
I have them all, but I haven't read them. I have I remember I was a member of the X-Files official fan club, where you would get a monthly magazine sent to you, and I would go out and buy every single variant cover too. I was hardcore X-Files fan. I had my X-Files fan club card I carried with me. How gay is that?
Dude, you remind me of Sheldon, wherever he's like, remember when the FBI agent came to his door and he's like, well, this is my official Justice League members card.
Dude, I love that fucking show. Like, it's just so funny. I mean, the ninth season was alright.
What are you doing?
It wasn't as good, but the show was just really fucking good. So
amateur hour every year.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I watched. I think the first season of that. It still holds up.
Yeah,
it's still
a great show.
It's still a good show. It's not one of those ones that like just get like buried in time. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, oh, this is boring because it's old.
It's great.
Kind of like Seinfeld. It just holds up forever.
It does. Yeah, like I said, the ninth season it wasn't as great, but it wasn't horrible. But yeah, I just love the show. And it's time for your number 1. Oh boy.
My number 1, Adventure Time.
Oh my, really?
Yeah, dude, I love Adventure Time so much. I'll admit, the first like few seasons of it are really like. There's like all cartoons. There's not really much of a plot going on. It's just individual episodes, or maybe something will happen that'll carry over. That's kind of like the first two or three seasons of this. But once you start getting to the 4th, or the 5th season, the 6th season, there's some really adult stuff happening in that. Like, not like sex or anything. But
they
like,
fuck?
But no, yeah.
Yeah.
There's like really heavy implications of like reincarnation and like thoughts about the idea of afterlife.
The afterlife.
And there's other like the one character has trouble with remembering things, and
that's me, dude.
It's an issue revolving around like his ice powers, and it kind of deals heavily with dementia. Not heavily, but there's a light tone of dementia, and you're just like, oh, this is what people struggle with when going through dementia and stuff. They forget who people are, and they forget what happened during their lives or something. Yeah. And there's just really adult themes to like the shows that are happening.
Maybe I'll watch an episode sometime and see what I think of it.
Let me pick out what you watch first, because some of the earlier episodes, they're goofy, meant for kids. But once they kind of started testing the waters to see what they could get away with, the newer seasons are like really fucking like. I'm not caught up with the show because I just kid shows are weird. They change like shit all the time about when it airs, and for some reason, whenever they air new episodes, they'll like pair it with like an old episode, so my DVR won't pick it up, and it'll be real stupid sometimes. So I only watch it by seasons now, and I'll buy it by seasons. But the main character Finn, there's a big struggle to find his dad, and he meets his dad, and he has this idea of his dad being like this like great explorer and stuff, and he meets his dad, and his dad's a total douche who just keeps using him to do whatever. And I can't even begin to like even touch on some of the stuff.
Sounds pretty amazing. Sounds like you like it.
I love that show so much.
I'm not going to argue with that since you have such a great passion for it. I've never seen it. So, you'll have to check it out. My number one...
If you want to borrow seasons, let me know.
I can't do that.
I know.
But, I will watch it eventually, I promise to you.
It's all on Hulu if you have Hulu.
My number one, Star Trek: The Next Generation.
No way.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was coming.
Yeah.
No
I was like, I'm going to limit it to 2 Star Trek shows, because if I could literally make my top 5 all Star Trek, because I love it that much, but I got to limit this to my 2 favorite ones and put them on there somewhere. And since I love X-Files so much, I was like, it's only fair I kind of put that in number 2.
I mean, you can load up your honorable mentions.
Oh my goodness.
Or not X-Files.
There might be something along those lines there.
Yeah.
Dude, Next Generation, I've watched that series 4 or 5 times easy all the way through. I've watched that show so many fucking times. If I just want to put something on in the background while I'm playing a game, I just put on Star Trek.
Could you say that one could just, without watching, because I tried watching Star Trek, and I started with the old episodes with Shatner. If I want to just skip that and go straight to Next Generation...
There's no reason to watch the original if you watch Next Generation. If you watch Next Generation and you don't watch the original, you're missing out on absolutely nothing. There's no, references you're not going to get really. There's nothing. It's not really... It's connected in as much as it's in the same universe, but it's 80 years later.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? So it's so far much later.
There's not going to be a thing where it's oh, that's the villain from that one episode.
No.
Because that's kind of a big reason why I always try to start at the beginning of things. I know I could probably get away with starting in the middle, but yeah. So you like that show a lot?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So
that Patrick Stewart guy, yeah.
He's sexy.
Yeah. He's the king of the mutants.
Oh. Is he?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, that's
honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions. I have Dark Angel.
That's the one with Jessica Biel in it.
Yeah, it was only 2 seasons.
Jessica Biel.
Yeah, Jessica Biel. Yeah. I love Jessica Biel so much. It's Jessica Alba. I love the first season a lot. The second season I just thought was alright. So, it's only 2 seasons, and the second season I didn't think was as good, so I was like, it's not going to make the top. The Star Trek shows I did not mention are on my honorable mentions. Any other Star Trek show that I didn't mention? No. That's on my honorable mentions.
Do me a favor, name off some Star Trek shows you like, though. Just a completely separate category. Name off some Star Trek shows.
Episodes?
No, shows. The series.
Well, there's only 5 of them.
Well, name off all your favorites.
Star Trek.
Name your top 5.
In order. Next Generation, number 1. Deep Space Nine, number 2. Enterprise is number 3. Voyager's number 4. And Star Trek's number 5.
Alright. Glad we got that out of the way.
Yeah.
What about Destiny or whatever?
That's not even out yet, bro.
Discovery.
Oh, I don't even know what to tell you about that. That's not even out yet.
Yeah.
Like I said, the Star Trek shows I didn't mention are all my honorable mentions, and then Dexter. I didn't make it just because of the last 2 seasons. That's why I couldn't put it on the top 5.
Okay, fair enough.
What are your honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions is The Flash. Really good series. They're only 2 seasons in, so it could end up getting downhill real fast. And if say it runs for 8 seasons and the next 6 seasons are shit, then it probably would not be worthy of my honorable mentions anymore. But these first 2 seasons, if it carries on this route, it's probably going to stay there. It could possibly overlap Dexter.
I see.
Another show on my honorable mentions is Game of Thrones. That's a real popular show there.
Yeah, people seem to love that show.
I'm going to admit, there's a lot of times I have no idea what the fuck's going on in that show. Yeah. But there's something that's real consistent. There's a lot of dragons, big CGI dragons, and there's a lot of boobs.
Oh.
There are a lot of boobs in this show.
Well, is that your honorable mentions?
I have something that's not an honorable mention because there's not much to it yet. And it's a keep an eye on show.
Daredevil?
Because I watched the first season, which just ended a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and I really liked it. I haven't finished watching the first season, but I've been watching it, and I have like 2 or 3 episodes left. Preacher. Really like Preacher.
Yeah, I heard it's really good.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Oh no, you know what I wanted to add? Honorable mentions, Ash vs. the Evil Dead.
Okay.
Well, I guess that's a keeping eye on since that's only 1 season.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even watch it. Okay, let's do our fan list. The lucky fan this week that gets his list read. You ready for it?
It's either Brooks or Cat.
It's Brooks.
It's Brooks. I knew it.
At Captain America with 2 A's. Number 1. This show's pretty bad. I don't know why this is even on here. Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah.
I fucked up. I'm supposed to go 5-1, aren't I?
What'd you do?
I started with number 1.
Oh, no.
It's number 5 is The Shield. You ever watch that show?
I have not. Was that the one? I think that has the guy from Gotham in it, if I'm not mistaken.
Michael Chiklis is in it.
Is he bald?
Yes.
Yes.
The Shield. Number 4, Game of Thrones.
Wait, was he also the Thing in...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 4 is Game of Thrones.
It's a good show.
Number 3 is Shameless.
Never saw it.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is.
I bet it's good, though.
I think it has... I'm picturing the actor, and I can't think of his name.
Is it that dude that was fucking... what's that guy's name? He was in Psycho. He was in... Fuck.
Oh, boy.
I remember his fucking name.
Vince Vaughn?
No. Who's the other guy? The detective in Psycho. The detective that was trying to get him?
Was he in Fargo?
Yes.
Yes. I think that's him. I think that's him.
Okay, the guy from Fargo and Psycho is in Shameless.
Yeah, there
probably.
we go.
Number 1? No, number 2.
Oh, Fargo is such a good fucking movie.
No, I hated it.
I heard the show's really good.
Number 2?
Yeah.
Big Brother. I've never seen it.
Everyone in my family watches that hardcore except for me.
Taz loves Big Brother.
There's a chick who looks like Taylor Swift on that show, and every time I mention she looks like Taylor Swift, Ashley gets really mad, and my dad laughs.
That's funny, I guess. Yeah. And his number 1, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Walking Dead.
Idea. Oh, there it is.
I fucked up.
Dave fucked up.
And you know what we're going to do? Brooks was kind enough to let us know that I did not tell the Foggy story. I did mention that I met him at Chicago Was a World, but I did not tell the story about when I met him. Eldon Henson, the guy that plays Foggy from Daredevil.
Yeah.
So we're going to tell that next week. It's a nice little cliffhanger.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That's what we're going to do.
Sorry, Brooks.
No, there's no sorry. He's going to hear it.
Oh,
he's going to hear it.
I guess he wins in the end.
Yeah. Well, that's all for this week. We're going to go to our Twitter, at BreakroomBS1, at BreakroomBS1.
Yeah.
And then go to our SoundCloud.
Listen to us.
SoundCloud's Breakroom BS is our page.
SoundCloud.
And Breakroom Bullshit is what you can search for. You can search for that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Give it to you good.
And that's a wrap.
In your ear.
All right. And we'll
put us in your ear holes.
And we'll see you guys later.
Next week. Bye.
Yeah, bye.